Chapter 2071. The three men from the Eastern Fang clan, including Dongfang Zhu, quickly returned to the Eastern Fang clan's mansion after they left the restaurant. They immediately went to look for the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan, Dongfang Zhu's father. Dongfang Qian. Father. Dongfang Zhu was furious when he saw Dongfang Qian. He complained agitatedly. Qiu Muqing, the young miss of the Qiu clan, and the Qiu clan have gone too far. They've gone too far. What happened? Dongfang Qian's expression darkened when he saw his son losing his composure. He could not help but frown. About half an hour ago, his son had come to look for him and asked for two of the Eastern Fang clan's powerhouses at the peak of the quintessential saint stage. They were the two Eastern Fang clan's elders who were standing behind Dongfang Zhu. However, he did not expect that his son would bring people back not long after he left with them. Moreover, he even said that Qiu Muqing and the Qiu clan had gone too far. Father, I wanted to bring the two elders to teach that fellow a lesson. However, when we returned to the restaurant, that fellow had already left with Qiu Muqing. Dongfang Zhu's expression was unsightly as he continued to say. Moreover, Qiu Muqing was the one who held that fellow's hand as they left. After that, we heard that Qiu Muqing brought that fellow back to the Qiu clan and arranged for him to stay in her mansion. As far as I know, her independent mansion has never accepted an outsider to live in since the beginning. That fellow was the first person she had ever accepted. Dongfang Zhu's eyes were bloodshot when he spoke. It was obvious he knew Qiu Muqing very well. It was exactly because of this that he was so furious. Qiu Muqing had always been his woman. However, she had taken the initiative to hold another man's hand and even brought him back to her mansion. Dongfang Zhu felt like he was going crazy when he thought about this. What? Dongfang Qian's expression darkened when he heard Dongfang Zhu's words. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Qiu Muqing actually did something so immoral? Clan leader. One of the Eastern Fang clan's elders who had returned with Dongfang Zhu said angrily. Qiu Muqing and the Qiu clan have gone too far. Currently, there's no one in Clarity City who doesn't know Qiu Muqing from the Qiu clan is going to become your daughter-in-law. Her actions today are an insult to the Dongfang clan. Yes, Patriarch. Another elder from the Dongfang clan said angrily. If our Dongfang clan doesn't handle this matter well, I'm afraid our Dongfang clan won't be able to hold our heads high in Clarity City in the future. At that time, no one will put our Dongfang family in their eyes. This matter must be handled properly. Dongfang Qian's eyes flashed coldly as he looked at the two elders from the Eastern Fang clan and asked, Elders, what do you think about this matter? Clan leader, I suggest you personally lead a team to the Qiu clan to denounce them. We must ask the Qiu clan and Qiu Muqing to give us an explanation for what happened today. One of the elders from the Eastern Fang clan said in a deep voice. Apart from that, the Qiu clan must also hand over Qiu Muqing and the purple-clad young man to the Eastern Fang clan for punishment. Moreover, the Qiu clan must agree to the Eastern Fang clan's request to annul the engagement. That's right. The other elder from the Eastern Fang clan nodded in agreement. News of Qiu Muqing's actions must have spread in Clarity City. If we accept her, we'll become the laughing stock of Clarity City. For this reason, the engagement must be annulled by the Eastern Fang clan. The Eastern Fang clan must tell everyone in Clarity City that it's us who rejected Qiu Muqing. It's not Qiu Muqing who looked down on us. As the Dongfang family elder spoke, his words fell to the ground with conviction. I'll definitely lead a team to denounce the Qiu clan for this matter. Otherwise, do they really think there's no one in the Eastern Fang clan? Dongfang Qian said coldly. As for annulling the engagement, that's a must as well. There's no way the Eastern Fang clan will accept such a woman. It shouldn't be difficult for the Qiu clan to hand over the purple-clad young man. However, I'm afraid it won't be easy for the Qiu clan to hand over Qiu Muqing. That shameless girl is the lifeblood of the Qiu clan's patriarch, Qiu Enping. It's impossible for him to hand her over. Dongfang Qian frowned when he reached the end of his sentence. Father, we must make the Qiu clan hand over that slut Qiu Muqing. Right at that moment, Dongfang Zhu interjected. Dongfang Zhu's eyes shone with a cold and lecherous gleam when he spoke. He could not wait to capture Chiu Muqing and bring her to the Eastern Fang clan for him to do whatever he wanted with her. He wanted to possess the woman he wanted even in his dreams, even if it was impossible for him to marry her. Zhu, I understand how you feel, but it's impossible for the Chiu clan to hand over Chiu Muqing, Dongfang Qian said to Dongfang Zhu. Second young master, the clan leader is right. At the same time, an elder from the Eastern Fang clan standing next to Dongfang Zhu said, Chiu Muqing is Chiu Enping's only daughter. He's willing to risk his life for Chiu Muqing. For this reason, it's impossible for the Chiu clan to hand over Chiu Muqing. Second young master, we know you hate Chiu Muqing, but it's impossible for the Chiu clan to hand her over. Another elder from the Eastern Fang clan chimed in. Dongfang Zhu fell silent when he heard this. Actually, how could he not know this? However, he was still unwilling to accept this. Naturally, he knew it was impossible for him to change this fact, even if he was unwilling to accept it. Zhu, I promise you, after this incident, I'll find an opportunity to secretly kidnap Chiu Muqing and bring her to you, so you can do whatever you want with her. This time, you can vent your anger on that purple-clad young man first. Dongfang Qian felt sorry for his son, so he quickly comforted him. Dongfang Zhu's eyes lit up when he heard Dongfang Qian's words. He quickly expressed his gratitude. Thank you, father. The three of you wait in the front courtyard. I'll look for the grand elder and the second elder to tell them about this. Soon after, Dongfang Qian said, I believe they'll be as angry as we are about Chiu Muqing's actions and the Chiu clan's indulgence of her actions. I'll meet up with all of you after I've told them about this. As soon as Dongfang Qian finished speaking, he disappeared in front of Dongfang Zhu and the other two elders. As a powerhouse at the first form of the Saint Celestial stage, his speed was so fast that Dongfang Zhu and the other two elders could not even catch a glimpse of him. However, after Dongfang Qian left, they obediently waited in the front courtyard of the Eastern Fang clan's estate. Just as Dongfang Qian had said, the Grand Elder and the Second Elder of the Eastern Fang clan were furious when they heard about Chiu Muqing's actions. After all, Chiu Muqing's actions had crossed the line of the Eastern Fang clan. Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan, brought the Grand Elder, the Second Elder, and the generals of the Eastern Fang clan out of the Eastern Fang clan's estate after they met up with Dongfang Zhu and the other two elders. They flew in the direction of the Chiu clan's estate. Along the way, the group of people who were in a hurry naturally attracted the attention of many passers-by. Isn't that Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan? Many passers-by raised their heads and looked at the group of people flying across the sky. Their faces were full of surprise. The Grand Elder and Second Elder of the Eastern Fang clan, Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang clan, is here as well. They're flying in the direction of the Chiu clan's estate. It seems like they're going to the Chiu clan to denounce them. Many people had heard about Chiu Muqing's actions today. Therefore, they could guess why Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan, had brought the people from the Eastern Fang clan to the Eastern Fang clan. Come to think of it, the eldest young miss of the Chiu clan is really bold. Not only did she protect the person who humiliated the second young master of the Eastern Fang clan, but she even brought him back to the Chiu clan and allowed him to stay in her independent mansion. Isn't it obvious that she has a special relationship with that person? Chiu Muqing's actions are like a slap to the Eastern Fang clan's face. It's no wonder Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan, personally made a move. It seems like the power structure in Clarity City is going to change soon. After this incident, the Chiu clan and the Eastern Fang clan are no longer on the same side. This is going to give the Feng clan an opportunity to take advantage of this. From today onward, the Feng clan will be the sole ruler of Clarity City. A woman has destroyed two clans. She's really a femme fatale. The man Chiu Muqing brought back to the Chiu clan is going to lose a layer of skin even if he doesn't die. Many people could not help but discuss among themselves when they saw the people from the Eastern Fang clan making their way to the Chiu clan's estate. Based on their words, they felt Chiu Muqing was a femme fatale. At the same time, they felt Duan Lingtian, the purple-clad young man Qiu Muqing, brought back to the Qiu clan was going to suffer. Naturally, Duan Lingtian was unaware of the commotion outside. At this moment, Duan Lingtian and Qiu Muqing, the young miss of Qiu clan, had just returned from visiting the clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu and Ping. They were sitting at a stone table in the pavilion in the front yard of Qiu Muqing's mansion. Miss Qiu, you didn't tell your father my name, right? Suddenly, Duan Lingtian seemed to have recalled something, and he could not help but ask. After Qiu Muqing left, Duan Lingtian realized his name was a burden to others as well. Chapter 2072. Although the high-ranking officials of Zoroastrianism, whom he had offended, were not very powerful, it would not be difficult for them to annihilate a third-rate force like the Qiu clan. For this reason, after he told Qiu Muqing his name, he regretted not reminding Qiu Muqing not to tell anyone else his name. This included her father, the clan leader of Qiu clan. No. Although Qiu Muqing did not know why Duan Lingtian asked this question, she shook her head immediately and said, I just went to see my father. I just went to find my father, and told him everything that happened today. He should be at the Great Elder's place now, discussing with the Great Elder how to deal with the Dongfang family. However, he promised me that he'll protect you. You can stay in the Qiu clan. You don't have to worry about the Eastern Fang clan. Qiu Muqing comforted Duan Lingtian when she reached the end of her sentence. Miss Qiu, you don't have to worry about the Eastern Fang clan. I, Duan Lingtian, am not afraid of the Eastern Fang clan. Duan Lingtian said nonchalantly. However, his expression turned solemn as soon as he finished speaking. He quickly reminded Qiu Muqing. However, from now on, please don't tell anyone my name, including your father, Miss Qiu. Naturally, Qiu Muqing did not take Duan Lingtian's words seriously. Although she had witnessed Duan Lingtian's strength, she knew Duan Lingtian was not weak. However, she did not think Duan Lingtian was strong enough to deal with the entire Eastern Fang clan. At the very least, she did not think Duan Lingtian was strong enough to deal with the entire Eastern Fang clan. However, Qiu Muqing was stunned when she heard Duan Lingtian's words. She could not figure out why Duan Lingtian was hiding his name. In the end, Qiu Muqing decided not to voice her doubts. After all, everyone had their own secrets. She believed Duan Lingtian must have his reasons for saying so. He must have some special circumstances that made it inconvenient for him to reveal his name for the time being. All right. Qiu Muqing nodded and said, Don't worry. I won't tell anyone your name without your permission. Upon hearing Qiu Muqing's words, Duan Lingtian nodded with a smile. He was not afraid no matter how much trouble he caused in Clarity City. However, he did not plan to reveal his name in Clarity City. This was because he was worried that once his name was exposed, the three high-ranking officials from the fire worship sect, whom he had offended, would know that he had come to Clarity City and had a relationship with the Qiu clan, one of the three major clans in Clarity City. Duan Lingtian, the Vice Hall Master of the Enforcement Hall, Dong Yuanjin, the Vice Hall Master. However, he was 100% certain about the Black Turtle Sanctum's first Silver Flame Elder Lian. If Lian found out he had a relationship with the Qiu clan in Clarity City, he would definitely make a move against the Qiu clan. At that time, Qiu Muqing would definitely be implicated. For this reason, Duan Lingtian asked Qiu Muqing not to tell anyone his name. This way, he would be able to avoid future troubles. No matter how high profile he was in Clarity City, no one would associate him with Duan Lingtian, the second most popular prodigy among the younger generation of the Zoroastrianism. You. After a moment of silence, Duan Lingtian and Qiu Muqing spoke at the same time, trying to break the silence. However, even though they spoke at the same time, when they looked at each other, they spoke in unison. However, since both of them spoke at the same time, they did not continue. You first. After a short moment, the two of them opened their mouths again and spoke in unison. Those who did not know might think that they had rehearsed this thousands of times. Otherwise, how could they be able to speak in unison twice in such a short period of time? Puffed. Duan Lingtian was still in a daze when Qiu Muqing chuckled. Her beautiful cheeks were flushed red as she shyly smiled like a young girl. When Duan Lingtian was about to speak, a dark voice sounded from outside. A gloomy voice suddenly sounded from outside. It dispelled Duan Lingtian's intention to speak. Qiu Muqing. His gloomy voice was mixed with a bit of anger, as it came from afar. Duan Lingtian could not help but frown. The smile on Qiu Muqing's face disappeared, and was replaced by a displeased expression. Thud, thud, thud. At the same time, Duan Lingtian heard a series of heavy footsteps approaching. It was a tall and sturdy middle-aged man. He led a group of people into Qiu Muqing's independent residence in a menacing manner. It was obvious they did not come with good intentions. The group of people behind the middle-aged man consisted of old men, middle-aged men, and young men. Their expressions were grave when they saw Qiu Muqing. Many of them were glaring at Qiu Muqing, as though Qiu Muqing had done something unforgivable. Second uncle elders, what's the meaning of this? Isn't it rude for you to barge in without permission? At this moment, Qiu Muqing stood up and walked out of the pavilion. Her expression darkened when she saw the menacing group of people approaching the pavilion. This was Qiu Muqing's independent residence, and she was the owner. These people in front of her had trespassed into her residence without her permission. Not only were they being rude, they were also looking down on her. At this moment, the group of people who had barged into Qiu Muqing's residence was led by Qiu Gang-yi, the second master of Qiu clan. The people behind Qiu Gang-yi were the elders of Qiu clan. They were the people Qiu Gang-yi had gathered when he returned. These people were the elders of Qiu clan, who wanted to force Qiu Muqing to marry Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang clan. When they learned about Qiu Muqing's actions, and realized the marriage between the Qiu clan and the Eastern Fang clan had been ruined, they were furious. All of them followed Qiu Gang-yi to denounce Qiu Muqing. What? Qiu Muqing, you've already decided to destroy the Qiu clan. Are you going to stop us from barging into your residence? Qiu Gang-yi, the second master of Qiu clan, looked at Qiu Muqing with a dark expression on his face as he said coldly, without the Qiu clan, do you think you'll be able to have your own independent mansion? What a joke! His tone was filled with mockery. Although Qiu Gang-yi was the second master of Qiu clan, he was also a lineal disciple of Qiu clan. Qiu Muqing had to address him as second uncle. However, the blood relationship between him and Qiu Muqing was extremely weak. His grandfather and the grandfather of Qiu Enping, the clan leader of Qiu clan, were cousins. Qiu Gang-yi and Qiu Enping were not related to each other by blood. Moreover, Qiu Enping's daughter, Qiu Muqing, was the younger generation of Qiu Enping. Naturally, it was not because he wanted to make things difficult for Qiu Muqing. In his heart, the Qiu clan's benefit was his priority. He did not care about Qiu Muqing's life or death. For this reason, he had instigated the elders of Qiu clan to force Qiu Enping, the clan leader of Qiu clan, to persuade Qiu Muqing to marry into the Eastern Fang clan, even though Qiu Muqing had made it clear she was unwilling to marry into the Eastern Fang clan. Destroy the Qiu clan? Qiu Muqing was stunned when she heard Qiu Gang-yi's words. Then she asked coldly, second uncle, why do you say that? Why do I say that? Qiu Gang-yi smirked. Then, he looked at the purple-clad young man, standing next to Qiu Muqing, who had just walked out of the pergola. He was none other than Duan Lingtian. He said mockingly, is this the wild man you found outside? He's quite good-looking. Unfortunately, he offended the Eastern Fang clan. He's destined to die. The sneer on Qiu Gang-yi's face deepened when he reached the end of his sentence. Wild man. Duan Lingtian frowned when he heard Qiu Gang-yi's words. However, he suppressed his anger and did not do anything. No matter what, the person before him was a member of the Qiu clan. If he acted rashly, he would put Qiu Muqing in a difficult position. For this reason, he could only endure it for now. Naturally, he did not have to endure it forever. If he could not endure it, there was no need for him to endure it anymore. Swoosh! Qiu Muqing's expression changed drastically when she heard Qiu Gang-yi's words. She could tolerate it if Qiu Gang-yi insulted her. However, she could not tolerate it if he insulted Duan Lingtian and her friend. Qiu Gangyi, you better watch your mouth. What wild man? He's my friend. Qiu Muqing glared at Qiu Gangyi. Her voice seemed to have come from an ice cave, causing the temperature in the surroundings to drop a few degrees. This was also the first time she had addressed Qiu Gangyi by his name. Qiu Gangyi was stunned when he heard Qiu Muqing calling him by his name. However, he was so angry that he laughed. Good. Very good. It seems like you've grown up. You actually dared to call me your second uncle, by my name for a wild man. I'll say it again. He's my friend, not a wild man. Qiu Muqing's beautiful face was covered in a layer of frost. When she spoke again, her voice was even colder than before. It was so cold that it made one feel as though they had fallen into an ice cave. Based on Qiu Muqing's tone, one could tell she was furious. She was furious. You're Qiu Gangyi, right? When Duan Lingtian saw Qiu Muqing's anger, he knew there was no need for him to hold back anymore. He took a step forward and looked at Qiu Gangyi before he said in a deep voice, You better listen to Miss Qiu and watch your mouth. Qiu Gangyi's attention was drawn to Duan Lingtian. As soon as he took a step forward, Qiu Gangyi was stunned when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. Then he burst out laughing. After laughing for a while, he finally stopped laughing and looked at Duan Lingtian with an ice-cold gaze as he said disdainfully, You're right. He said disdainfully. Brat, don't think you can do whatever you want in the Qiu clan, just because Qiu Muqing likes you. You're still too inexperienced in front of me. Chapter 2073. You're still too naive in front of me. Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan, said disdainfully. He looked at Duan Lingtian condescendingly, as though he was a superior looking down on a subordinate. Duan Lingtian was displeased by this. You think I'm still too naive in front of you? Duan Lingtian narrowed his eyes as a cold glint flashed in his eyes. His tone was much deeper than before. If someone familiar with Duan Lingtian was here, they would be able to tell based on Duan Lingtian's reaction that Duan Lingtian was furious. Duan Lingtian was furious. What? Are you doubting my words? Qiu Gangyi sneered when he saw Duan Lingtian, was displeased with his words. His eyes were filled with disdain as he looked at Duan Lingtian. A hint of arrogance could be seen in his eyes. Qiu Gangyi, that's enough. Qiu Muqing, who was standing behind Duan Lingtian, took a step forward and stood next to Duan Lingtian. She raised her beautiful eyebrows, and the coldness on her beautiful face intensified as she spoke in a low voice. Humph! Duan Lingtian snorted as the Sun Saint energy in his body surged. He was ready to teach Qiu Gangyi a lesson. Was it him or the Dongfang clan who was not to be trifled with? Duan Lingtian's robe fluttered as he prepared to attack. Second Master. At this moment, an anxious voice rang from outside Qiu Muqing's residence. Master, you're in the imperial residence. Based on the voice, it was obvious the person was not looking for Qiu Muqing. Instead, he was looking for Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan. Qiu Muqing's eyes turned even colder when she heard this. Thud, thud, thud. Following that, a series of hurried footsteps rang in the air. Duan Lingtian saw a middle-aged man rushing into the residence. A middle-aged man barged in anxiously. He ignored Qiu Muqing, the owner of the mansion, and rushed to Qiu Gangyi's side. Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Dongfang clan, has brought his second son, Dongfang Zhu, and the grand elder and second elder of the Dongfang clan to the Qiu clan. They want an explanation from the Qiu clan. The middle-aged man, who was an elder of the Qiu clan, reported. The content of his report could also be summarized into one sentence. The Dongfang clan has come to the Qiu clan. The Dongfang clan? Qiu Gangyi's expression darkened when he heard the middle-aged man's words. His eyes flashed coldly as he looked at Duan Lingtian and Qiu Muqing. The elders of the Qiu family who followed Qiu Gangyi were shocked. The people from the Dongfang clan are here? Moreover, Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Dongfang clan, is personally leading the group? One of the Qiu clan's elders had a grave expression on his face. He glared at Qiu Muqing and said in a deep voice, Big sister, look at what you've done. It's one thing if you don't want to marry into the Qiu clan, but you even took in someone who humiliated the second young master of the Dongfang clan. You're playing with fire. You're openly making an enemy out of the Dongfang clan. In Clarity City, who doesn't know that our Chiu clan's eldest sister is going to marry into the Dongfang clan? However, today, our Chiu clan's eldest sister openly held a wild man's hand in front of so many people in Clarity City, and even brought him back to our Chiu clan. Another Chiu clan's elder said angrily. Not only did she bring him back to the Chiu clan, but she even placed him in her own residence. This is ridiculous, another Chiu clan's elder said in a deep voice. We have to hand him over to appease the Dongfang clan. Another Chiu clan's elder looked at Duan Lingtian and said in a deep voice. Otherwise, our Chiu clan will become enemies with the Dongfang clan. At that time, the Feng clan will be able to destroy our Chiu clan and the Dongfang clan one by one, and remove both of our clans from Clarity City. Humph! Don't you think you're being too naive? Even if we hand him over, the Dongfang clan's anger might not be extinguished because of this. After all, this big sister of our Chiu clan gave the Dongfang clan a very resounding slap. The Dongfang clan won't let this matter rest. Some of the elders from the Chiu clan looked at Chiu Muqing angrily. It was obvious that they were blaming her. They were blaming Chiu Muqing for offending the Dongfang clan. Then, we'll hand both of them over, one of the Chiu clan's elders said. When the Chiu clan's elder who had sent a message to Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, arrived, an uproar broke out. The Chiu clan's elders who had remained silent earlier began to cause a commotion. All of them blamed Chiu Muqing, as though she had committed a heinous crime. Bring both of them to the main hall, and apologize to the clan leader of the Dongfang clan. We have to give the Dongfang clan an explanation. At the same time, Chiu Gang-yi ordered the elders from the Chiu clan to bring Duan Lingtian and Chiu Muqing to the Chiu clan's main hall to apologize to the clan leader of Dongfang clan. Ha 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 ha. At this moment, a loud laugh suddenly rang out and spread out. The laughter easily drowned out the voices of the Chiu clan's elders. A few of the Chiu clan's elders who were about to invite Duan Lingtian and Chiu Muqing to the main hall stopped in their tracks when they heard Chiu Gang-yi's words. For a moment, everyone's attention was on the person who had laughed loudly. The person who had laughed was none other than Duan Lingtian, who was standing next to Chiu Muqing. What are you laughing at? Chiu Gang-yi asked coldly. His expression darkened when he saw Duan Lingtian bursting out in laughter. His voice faintly drowned out Duan Lingtian's unbridled laughter. Even Chiu Muqing looked at Duan Lingtian in confusion. She could not understand why Duan Lingtian was laughing at this moment. Although she had obtained the promise from her father, the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu Wenping, that the Chiu clan would do its best to protect Duan Lingtian. However, based on the current situation, it was completely different from what she had expected. Chiu Gang-yi and the Chiu clan's elders seemed to want to send Duan Lingtian away to appease the Eastern Fang clan. Moreover, some of the Chiu clan's elders even wanted to send her away. Naturally, she knew it was impossible for her to be sent away. Not only could the Chiu clan not afford to lose face, but even her father would not allow anyone in the Chiu clan to send her away. At this moment, she was more worried about Duan Lingtian's safety. Just when she was worried about Duan Lingtian's safety, she saw Duan Lingtian suddenly burst out laughing. His laughter was unbridled, as though he was not afraid of anything. Chiu Muqing was puzzled. She did not know why Duan Lingtian could still laugh at such a time. Moreover, he laughed so brazenly. What are you laughing at? Duan Lingtian stopped laughing when he heard Chiu Gang-yi's words. He looked at Chiu Gang-yi and the Chiu clan's elders behind Chiu Gang-yi and said, I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at you men for putting the responsibility of protecting the Chiu family on a woman. In my eyes, men like you who rely on women to such an extent are just a bunch of trash. A bunch of trash. Duan Lingtian did not hold back when he spoke. He called Chiu Gang-yi and the Chiu clan's elders trash. 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 Even a person made of clay would not be easily swayed, let alone Chiu Gang-yi and the Chiu clan's elders. When they heard Duan Lingtian's humiliating words, they could not help but be stunned for a moment. They looked at each other and wondered if they had heard wrongly. However, they soon realized from each other's angry eyes that they had not misheard. They did not mishear. Duan Lingtian was indeed insulting them. Qiu Gangyi and the Qiu clan's elders glared at Duan Lingtian coldly. You're seeking death, brat. Who do you think you are? How dare you humiliate us by calling us trash? I think you're tired of living. At this moment, Qiu Gangyi was not the only one who was glaring at Duan Lingtian. Even the Qiu clan's elders were glaring at Duan Lingtian fiercely. It was as though they were ready to attack Duan Lingtian at any time to vent their anger. Swoosh! At this moment, Duan Lingtian felt a gust of wind blowing past his eyes. It was Qiu Muqing. She had appeared in front of him and shielded him behind her after she heard Duan Lingtian's words. Duan Lingtian's heart was filled with warmth when he saw this. However, when Duan Lingtian looked at Qiu Muqing's back and saw Qiu Gangyi and the others, a hint of disdain could be seen in his eyes. What's wrong? Are you angry because you're embarrassed? Duan Lingtian was not afraid when he saw Qiu Gangyi and the others glaring at him. Instead, he sneered and said, Or, do you think I'm wrong? Although Qiu Gangyi and the others were furious when they heard Duan Lingtian's words, they could not refute him. Even if they did not want to admit it, they could not deny it. Duan Lingtian was telling the truth. I'm sure all of you can't wait to hand me and Sister Qiu over to the Dongfang clan. Duan Lingtian suddenly changed the topic and said bluntly, If that's the case, Sister Qiu and I will cooperate with all of you. Duan. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Qiu Muqing immediately turned around. She wanted to stop Duan Lingtian. However, as soon as she spoke, she was interrupted by Duan Lingtian's overbearing voice. Sister Qiu, let's follow them to the Qiu clan's main hall to meet the people from the Dongfang clan. Who knows, maybe the people from the Dongfang clan will be merciful and let us live when we arrive at the Qiu clan's main hall. In the end, a hint of mischief could be heard in Duan Lingtian's tone. Naturally, Qiu Gangyi and the others did not notice this. Chapter 2074. Let all of you live. Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan, and the elders from Qiu clan were stunned when they heard Duan Lingtian's words. They felt the purple-clad young man was too naive. Qiu Muqing was fine. Although Qiu Muqing had offended the Eastern Fang clan, she was the eldest sister of Qiu clan. Moreover, she had the protection of the clan leader of Qiu clan. Even if they wanted to hand her over to the Eastern Fang clan, it was impossible. However, who was this purple-clad young man? Perhaps, Qiu Muqing would do her best to protect him. However, it was already good enough that Qiu Muqing was able to protect herself. How could she protect this purple-clad young man? Naive. What a joke. He humiliated the Eastern Fang clan's second young master, Dongfang Zhu, in front of so many people, and he still wants to show mercy to the Eastern Fang clan? Is there something wrong with his head? If he likes to dream, then let him dream on his own. That's right. Moreover, he's willing to meet the Eastern Fang clan in our Qiu clan's main hall anyway. Since he likes to talk, let him do as he pleases. The elders from Qiu clan discussed among themselves. Based on their words, they felt Duan Lingtian was dreaming. However, since Duan Lingtian was willing to meet the Eastern Fang clan in the Qiu clan's main hall, they did not say anything. No matter what, Duan Lingtian was not a member of Qiu clan. Although they were elders from Qiu clan, they had no right to criticize Duan Lingtian. As long as Duan Lingtian did not drag the Qiu clan down, they could not be bothered with Duan Lingtian. Since you're so straightforward, then come with us, Qiu Gangyi said as he looked at Duan Lingtian mockingly. After he finished speaking, he glared at Duan Lingtian like a tiger eyeing its prey. It was as long as Duan Lingtian refused, he would capture Duan Lingtian and bring Duan Lingtian away. The other elders of the Qiu family also looked at Duan Lingtian. They were thinking the same thing as Qiu Gangyi. As long as the Duan Lingtian was willing to go to the main hall of the Qiu family to meet the people of the Eastern Fang family, and as long as the Qiu family and the Duan Lingtian were not related, they would not be implicated by the Duan Lingtian. And if Duan Lingtian was unwilling to go, the Dongfang family would definitely think that the Qiu family was protecting Duan Lingtian. In that case, the conflict between the Qiu clan and the Dongfang clan would definitely deepen. That was not in their interest. nor was it what they wanted to see. What? Are you worried that I'm just saying that? Duan Ling Tian asked nonchalantly when he heard Qiu Gangyi's words and saw Qiu Gangyi glaring at him like a tiger looking at its prey. I hope you're not just saying that. Otherwise, I'll bring you there even if I have to. Qiu Gangyi sneered. You think you can do that? Duan Ling Tian laughed when he heard Qiu Gangyi's words. Under Qiu Gangyi's furious gaze, he looked at Qiu Muqing and said, Sister Qiu, I don't know the way. Please bring me to the main hall of the Qiu clan. Duan Lingtian's tone changed when he spoke to Qiu Muqing. His tone was gentle and friendly. But Qiu Muqing hesitated when she heard Duan Lingtian's words. Initially, she thought her father could rely on the Qiu clan to protect Duan Lingtian. However, it seemed like Qiu Gangyi and the elders from the Qiu clan wanted to send Duan Lingtian away. It was as though they were afraid Duan Lingtian would be implicated. Although Qiu Gangyi did not have all the elders in the Qiu clan, they still made up 50% of the elders in the Qiu clan. With so many elders and Qiu Gangyi, the second master of the Qiu clan, refusing to protect Duan Lingtian, even her father, the clan leader of the Qiu clan, could not represent the Qiu clan to protect Duan Lingtian. Don't worry. Duan Lingtian smiled when he saw Qiu Muqing's hesitation. His voice was calm, but it was filled with confidence. Qiu Muqing was affected by his confidence as well. Don't tell me you have a way to prevent the Dongfang clan from doing anything to you? Qiu Muqing could not help but ask Duan Lingtian through voice transmission. This was because until now, she was still in the dark about Duan Lingtian's origin. When she heard the confidence in Duan Lingtian's voice, she immediately thought of Duan Lingtian's background. At the very least, he was not afraid of the Dongfang clan, one of the 3 most powerful clans in Clarity City. You'll find out when the time comes. Duan Lingtian replied to Qiu Muqing through voice transmission. His tone was still confident, but he kept her guessing. Qiu Muqing was even more certain that Duan Lingtian's background was not simple. At the very least, he was strong enough to counterattack the Dongfang clan. Qiu Muqing was relieved when she heard this. She took the lead to leave her independent residence and brought Duan Lingtian to the Qiu clan's main hall. At this moment, she was extremely curious about Duan Lingtian's background. However, she did not expect Duan Lingtian to be so confident. Duan Lingtian's confidence did not come from his background. Instead, it came from his strength. As a third-rate force, the Dongfang clan might be quite strong. However, in Duan Lingtian's eyes, they were nothing. Let's go. When Qiu Gangyi saw Duan Lingtian leaving with Qiu Muqing to the Qiu clan's main hall, he called out to the Qiu clan's elders and brought them along. Humph. Big sister is too willful this time. If it's possible, I really hope the clan will hand her over to the Dongfang clan. That's right. It's fine if she messes around in the past, but she's really too willful this time. How can she be so intimate with a man in front of so many people in Clarity City? Everyone in Clarity City knows she's going to marry the second young master of the Dongfang clan. She's going to enter the Dongfang clan soon. Her actions are no different from giving the Dongfang clan a slap in the face. Now, I only hope that our Qiu clan will hand over the purple-clothed young man, to a certain extent to extinguish the anger of the Dongfang clan. As for eldest sister's mistake, our Qiu clan will compensate in other ways. No matter what, we can't let the Dongfang clan fall out with the Qiu clan. I think the Dongfang clan won't fall out with the Qiu clan, as long as we're willing to compensate them. After all, the members of the Dongfang clan are clearly aware that they can't go against the Feng clan without our Qiu clan. On the way to the Qiu clan's main hall, the Qiu clan's elders whispered among themselves. Duan Lingtian naturally heard the whispers. He shook his head inwardly. At the same time, Duan Lingtian looked at Qiu Muqing, the eldest daughter of the Qiu clan, with a pitiful expression on his face. He only felt that she was a little pitiful. She was actually used by her family as a tool to maintain the relationship with the Dongfang family. The Qiu clan's main hall is right in front of us. Are you really confident? If you're not, you can leave now. I'll stop them. Qiu Muqing suddenly slowed down and sent a voice transmission to Duan Lingtian. At the same time, Duan Lingtian also saw the main hall that stood not far away from him. The main hall looked majestic from afar. It was as though a gigantic beast was crouching there. The door was wide open like the mouth of a gigantic beast. You? Stop them? Duan Lingtian was stunned when he heard Qiu Muqing's voice transmission. Although he had asked Hu Lao to investigate earlier, he found out the group of people led by Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan, were not at the Saint Celestial stage or above. Qiu Gangyi, the strongest among them, was only at the peak of the quintessential saint stage. However, with Qiu Muqing's cultivation base at the exemplary saint stage, it was impossible for her to stop Qiu Gangyi and the others. If I threaten to kill myself, I'll kill myself on the spot if anyone dares to chase after you. I'm sure even Qiu Gangyi won't dare to chase after you. He's worried my father won't let him go after I kill myself. Qiu Gangyi said to Duan Lingtian, through voice transmission again when he saw the doubt in Duan Lingtian's eyes. Based on his words, it seemed as though he was not afraid of death at all. Although Duan Lingtian knew Qiu Muqing was certain Qiu Gangyi, and the others would not dare to chase after him due to her threats, he still felt touched. Warmth rose in Duan Lingtian's heart when he heard Qiu Muqing's words. After all, he had only met Qiu Muqing today. Qiu Muqing only dared to threaten Qiu Gangyi and the others, because she was certain Qiu Gangyi and the others would not dare to do anything to her. However, since she was willing to do this for him, it was clear she was a kind girl. She did not want him to be hurt because of her. Why? Don't you trust me, Sister Qiu? Duan Lingtian replied to Qiu Muqing after taking a deep breath. His voice was laced with a hint of mockery. No, I'm not. I'm just a little worried. Since you're so confident, let's go in. I want to see how the Eastern Fang family will react when they realize they don't dare to touch you. Qiu Muqing said to Duan Lingtian, through voice transmission again. In the end, there was a hint of playfulness in her tone. However, based on her tone, it seemed like she was certain Duan Lingtian was not a simple person. At the very least, the Eastern Fang family would not dare to touch him. When they arrived outside the Qiu clan's main hall, Duan Lingtian saw 3 people walking over from another direction. They were a middle-aged man dressed in luxurious clothes and 2 white-haired old men. Father! At the same time, Qiu Muqing's voice rang in Duan Lingtian's ears. Qiu Muqing took a few steps forward to greet the middle-aged man. He's the clan leader of Qiu clan? Duan Lingtian immediately realized the middle-aged man was a middle-aged man. The middle-aged man dressed in luxurious clothes was none other than the clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu Ping. Qiu Ping was a tall and well-built middle-aged man. His face was chiseled, and he had a handsome appearance. One could tell he was a handsome man when he was young. Chapter 2075. Muqing. The clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu Ping, smiled when he saw Qiu Muqing walking up to him. A doting expression could be seen in his eyes. However, he could not help but sigh inwardly. When he thought of the promise he had made to his daughter earlier, and the fact that he would most likely have to go back on his words, he felt a wave of sadness in his heart. One had to know that he had never disappointed his daughter in her entire life. However, this time, he was going to disappoint his daughter. Grand Elder, Second Elder. When Qiu Muqing arrived next to Qiu Ping, she greeted the 2 old men with a smile on her face. The 2 old men were none other than the Grand Elder and Second Elder of Qiu clan. The Grand Elder of Qiu clan was an old man with a medium build. He had an ordinary appearance. When he heard Qiu Muqing's greeting, he smiled and nodded. Qing. The Second Elder of Qiu clan was slightly taller than the Grand Elder of Qiu clan. He was about the same height as the clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu Ping. He only glanced at Qiu Muqing indifferently when she greeted him. Then he said in a slightly displeased tone, Muqing, you didn't think twice about what you did today. Qiu Muqing fell silent when she heard this. Today, she had held Duan Lingtian's hand in the restaurant, and left while holding Duan Lingtian's hand. She had only done so out of desperation. When she thought about it, she was stunned. She felt she had been too bold. After all, although she had a good impression of Duan Lingtian, they had only met for the first time. However, what happened was what happened. To a certain extent, her actions had indeed given the Dongfang clan a resounding slap in the face. For this reason, She did not dare to refute the second elder of Chiu clan. Clan leader, grand elder, second elder. At the same time, Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, walked past Duan Lingtian and arrived in front of Chiu and Ping and the others. He took the initiative to greet them. Seeing Chiu Gang-yi, Chiu and Ping frowned imperceptibly and then nodded. In the next moment, after Chiu Gang-yi, a group of Chiu family's elders followed and took the initiative to greet Chiu and Ping and the other two. Chiu Gang-yi, stay. Everyone else leave. Seeing so many Chiu family elders gathered together, the Chiu family great elder frowned and said indifferently. Although the Chiu clan's first elder spoke calmly, there was no room for doubt in his tone. It was extremely authoritative. There were 3 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses in the Chiu clan. Among them, the great elder of the Chiu family was the strongest. Therefore, the Chiu clan's elders did not dare to disobey the Chiu clan's first elder. When the Chiu clan's great elder finished speaking, the group of Chiu clan's elders glanced at Chiu Gang-yi and dispersed. Although they all wanted to enter the main hall to join in the fun, they knew that since the grand elder had spoken, it was impossible for them to enter the main hall, even if they wanted to. However, although they did not have the chance to enter the main hall, they had someone to convey their wishes to the Chiu clan's first elder. Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of the Chiu clan, was the representative of all of them. Chiu Gang-yi was the only one left among the group of people who had gathered together. After a while, Duan Lingtian finally arrived near the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping, the grand elder, and the second elder of Chiu clan. Father, this is the friend I mentioned to you before. Chiu Muqing introduced Duan Lingtian to Chiu and Ping when she saw him approaching. Due to the confidence Duan Lingtian had shown earlier, she did not feel too pressured at all. Although she knew her father might not be able to protect Duan Lingtian on behalf of the Chiu clan, she still felt pressured. Clan leader Chiu. Before Chiu and Ping could speak, Duan Lingtian took the initiative to greet him with a smile. Hello. Naturally, Chiu and Ping smiled in response to Duan Lingtian's polite greeting. Then he asked, how should I address you? Li Feng. Duan Lingtian replied with a smile. Initially, Chiu Muqing was taken aback by Duan Lingtian's response. Since Chiu Muqing knew Duan Lingtian's real name, she was slightly taken aback when she heard Duan Lingtian's name. However, when she thought about it again, she recalled Duan Lingtian seemed to have something he could not tell her, and had asked her not to reveal his name. So it's Brother Li Feng. Chiu and Ping nodded before he asked, Brother Li Feng, are you from Clarity City? No. Duan Lingtian shook his head. May I know where Brother Li Feng is from? Chiu and Ping asked again. A hint of anticipation could be seen in his eyes when he asked this question. This was because he knew that he would not be able to protect this purple-clad young man in front of him today. For this reason, he hoped that the other party had an extraordinary background. In that case, the Dongfang clan would not dare to make a move on him so easily. If that was the case, his daughter would not be disappointed that he could not protect Duan Lingtian. Clan leader Chiu, I'm a sectless cultivator. The world is my home. Duan Lingtian replied immediately when he heard Chiu and Ping's question. He did not reveal his origin. Sectless cultivator? Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, and the second elder of Chiu clan had a hint of disdain in their eyes. On the other hand, the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping, and the grand elder of Chiu clan, had a grave expression on their faces. Chiu and Ping in particular had a hint of disappointment in his eyes. As for the eldest daughter of Chiu clan, Chiu Muqing, she was stunned for a moment before she felt relieved. She knew Duan Lingtian was only hiding his origin for the time being. He would only reveal his origin when he was in front of the Eastern Fang clan, so the Eastern Fang clan would not dare to act recklessly. If that was not the case, he would not have been so confident earlier. Senior brother Li Feng, these are the grand elder and second elder of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping said. He broke the silence and introduced the grand elder and second elder of Chiu clan to Duan Lingtian. Greetings, seniors. Duan Lingtian immediately greeted the two old men in a refined and courteous manner. The grand elder of Chiu clan nodded slightly in response to Duan Lingtian. As for the second elder of Chiu clan, he only glanced at Duan Ling Tian, casually from the beginning until the end. He pretended not to hear Duan Ling Tian's greeting. It seemed like he had no intention of responding to Duan Ling Tian at all. Duan Ling Tian, on the other hand, remained calm. He had seen a lot of people who looked down on others, ever since he came from the mortal continent. Therefore, he had become indifferent to them. Clan leader, grand elder, second elder. It's time for us to enter. If we keep the clan leader and the two elders of the Eastern Fang clan waiting for too long, it'll seem like the Chiu clan isn't treating our guests well. Chiu Gangyi's voice suddenly entered Duan Lingtian's ears. It sounded like he was reminding Chiu and Ping and the other two old men, but there was a hint of schadenfreude in his voice as well. Naturally, the schadenfreude was directed at Duan Lingtian. With Chiu Gangyi's reminder, the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping, the grand elder, and the second elder of Chiu clan took the lead and made their way to the Chiu clan's main hall. Duan Lingtian and Chiu Muqing walked side by side as they followed the three old men. As for Chiu Gangyi, he walked at the back of the group, as though he was afraid Duan Lingtian would run away at a critical moment. When they entered the Chiu clan's main hall, Duan Lingtian saw everything in the Chiu clan's main hall. The Chiu clan's main hall was extremely spacious. Although the decorations were simple, they did not lose their grandeur. Father, it's him. It's him. Duan Lingtian was still observing the Chiu clan's main hall when an exasperated voice rang in his ears. The voice sounded familiar, as though he had heard it somewhere before. Duan Lingtian's attention was instantly attracted by the owner of the voice. With just a glance, he saw Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang clan, whom he had taught a lesson in the restaurant in Clarity City. At this moment, Dongfang Zhu was standing next to a middle-aged man. He was pointing at the middle-aged man as he spoke in an exasperated manner. Based on how Dongfang Zhu addressed the middle-aged man, it was obvious who the middle-aged man was. The middle-aged man was none other than the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan, Dongfang Gan. When Dongfang Gan heard Dongfang Zhu's words, he turned to look at Duan Lingtian coldly. For a moment, Duan Lingtian felt as though he was being stared at by a venomous snake. However, Duan Lingtian merely glanced at Dongfang Gan indifferently before he shifted his attention to the two old men standing next to Dongfang Gan. These two old men were standing next to Dongfang Gan. It was obvious they had a high status in the Eastern Fang clan. Could they be the grand elder and second elder of the Eastern Fang clan? Earlier, when he was still in Chiu Muqing's independent mansion, he had heard an elder from the Chiu clan say, "The Eastern Fang clan's people are from the Eastern Fang clan." Apart from the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan and his son, there were also the grand elder and second elder of the Eastern Fang clan. In the entire Eastern Fang clan, only these two old men were qualified to stand next to the clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan. Apart from Dongfang Gan, these two old men were the other two Saint Celestial stage powerhouses in the Eastern Fang clan. Similar to the Chiu clan, the Eastern Fang clan had three Saint Celestial stage powerhouses each. They were the clan leader, the grand elder, and the second elder. As for the two old men standing behind Dongfang Gan and the others, Duan Lingtian merely glanced at them indifferently and did not pay them any attention. It could be seen that their positions in the Dongfang family were ordinary. They should be ordinary elders. Clan leader of the Eastern Fang clan. At the same time, the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping, and the grand elder and second elder of Chiu clan walked side by side toward Dongfang Gan and the others. The grand elder and second elder of Chiu clan, who were standing next to him, also greeted the grand elder and second elder of the Eastern Fang clan. Slut! Slut! When Dongfang Zhu saw Duan Lingtian and Chiu Muqing standing next to each other, he was so angry that his eyes turned red. He cursed inwardly. Chapter 2076. Clan Leader Chiu, you have a good daughter. Dongfang Gan, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang family, mocked Chiu and Ping when he saw the clan leader of Chiu clan greeting him warmly. He was not polite at all. He had brought his men here to denounce Chiu and Ping. Naturally, it was impossible for him to be polite to Chiu and Ping. If he were to be polite at this moment, it would be equivalent to giving away the initiative. it would be difficult for him to obtain more benefits. As the clan leader of the Eastern Fong family, Dongfang Gan knew this very well. Humph! The Grand Elder and Second Elder of the Eastern Fong family snorted coldly when they were greeted by the Grand Elder and Second Elder of the Chiu clan. They did not even bother to look at the two of them. It was as though the two of them owed them money. The expressions of the Grand Elder and Second Elder of the Eastern Fong family darkened when they saw this. However, although their expressions were ugly, it was not good for them to flare up. After all, in their opinion, the Eastern Fong family was in the right, and the Chiu clan was in the wrong. Clan leader of the Eastern Fong family, what do you mean by that? The smile on Chiu and Ping's face disappeared when he heard Dongfang Gan's words. As the clan leader of the Chiu clan, he could be polite to Dongfang Gan for the sake of the Chiu clan. However, Dongfang Gan was now his daughter, and his daughter was more important to him as a father than his own life. For this reason, he could not accept anyone else talking about his daughter. He could do anything, but not his daughter. Because of this, Chiu Anping's tone was completely gloomy when he spoke again. At the same time, it caused the atmosphere in the hall to be filled with a strong smell of gunpowder. A conflict could break out at any moment. What do I mean? Dongfang Gan sneered when he saw Chiu and Ping's expression had darkened. Chiu and Ping, don't you know what I mean? Don't tell me that you have no idea what your precious daughter has done today. In the end, Dongfang Gan shifted his gaze to Chiu Muqing, who was standing next to Duanling Tian. His eyes gleamed coldly, as though he was about to devour someone. Patriarch. At this moment, Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, said to Chiu and Ping, "Indeed, the Chiu clan is in the wrong. I know you feel sorry for eldest sister, but eldest sister has gone too far this time." Chiu Anping didn't expect that Chiu Gangyi would step in at this time. For a moment, his face became increasingly gloomy. Even the great elder of the Chiu clan was frowning. He felt that Chiu Gang-yi had gone too far. Only the second elder of the Chiu family didn't react. It was as if Chiu Gang-yi's words were not inappropriate. Is Chiu Gang-yi really from the Chiu clan? Duanling Tian narrowed his eyes when he looked at Chiu Gang-yi again. He felt Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, did not look like a member of the Chiu clan. Instead, he looked more like a member of the Dongfang clan. At this time, it was fine if the people from the Eastern Fong family were gossiping. After all, they were on different sides. However, as a member of the Chiu clan, not only did Chiu Gang-yi not help the Chiu clan, but he even helped the Dongfang family. Although Duanling Tian was an outsider to the Chiu clan, he felt Chiu Gang-yi's words were ill-considered. What a lousy teammate. You're right, second master of Chiu clan. When Dongfang Gan heard Chiu Gang-yi's words, he took advantage of the situation. He looked at Chiu and Ping and sneered. It's only because the second master of Chiu clan is less talented than you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be the one sitting in the clan leader's seat today. Dongfang Gan's words raised Chiu Gang-yi's status and belittled Chiu and Ping's status. Chiu and Ping's expression darkened when he heard this. Ha 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 ha. At this moment, Duanling Tian finally burst out laughing. It was as though he had heard the funniest joke in the world. What are you laughing at? Dongfang Gan asked coldly as he looked at Duanling Tian, with killing intent in his eyes. His voice was not loud, but it was filled with saint origin. It drowned out Duanling Tian's laughter, and clearly entered everyone's ears. If they were not in the Chiu clan's main hall, he would have killed this person who humiliated his son. I'm laughing at your whimsical imagination. Duanling Tian stopped laughing. Facing Dongfang Gan's snake-like gaze, he was not afraid at all. He said sarcastically, Chiu Gang-yi is nothing but an ungrateful wretch. No matter how talented a person like him is, once he becomes the clan leader of Chiu clan, he's destined to lead the Chiu clan into decline. Fortunately, he didn't become the clan leader of Chiu clan. Otherwise, the Chiu clan would be under the Fong clan by now. As for your Eastern Fong clan, you'd better not be annihilated by the Chiu clan and the Fong clan. In the end, Duanling Tian became more and more unscrupulous. He said Chiu Gang-yi was an ungrateful wretch. If Chiu Gang-yi became the clan leader of Chiu clan, he would have surrendered to the Fong clan and led the Chiu clan to become the Fong clan's pawn. Upon hearing Duanling Tian's words, everyone was stunned. Whether it was the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping, or the Grand Elder and Second Elder of Chiu clan, all of them looked at Duan Lingtian in shock. It was as though Duan Lingtian's words had touched a chord in their hearts. In the past, Chiu Gangyi had indeed suggested that the Chiu clan surrender to the Feng clan and join forces with the Feng clan to annihilate the Eastern Feng clan. He also thought that even if the Feng clan became the dominant clan, the Chiu clan would still be able to get a share of the pie. However, they rejected his suggestion in the end. Li Feng, you're seeking death. Chiu Gangyi could not suppress his anger when he heard Duan Lingtian's mocking words. As he roared furiously, the saint energy in his body stirred and was about to burst out. What's wrong? Are you angry? Because I've guessed what you're thinking? Duan Lingtian shifted his gaze from Dongfang Gan to Chiu Gangyi. He could not help but mock Chiu Gangyi. Chiu Gangyi grew even angrier. It seemed like he was on the verge of breaking down. It was not hard to imagine. If Chiu Gangyi's emotions were to crumble, he would not hesitate to attack Duan Lingtian as soon as he could. How dare you? At this moment, a loud roar resounded, echoing continuously in the Chiu family's main hall, lingering in the air. The person who shouted was none other than the second elder of the Chiu clan. The second elder of the Chiu clan looked at Duan Lingtian and said coldly, Li Feng, you're just a seckless cultivator. What right do you have to shout and humiliate the Chiu clan's main hall? A seckless cultivator, the clan leader of the Eastern Feng clan, Dongfang Gan, brightened when he heard the second elder of the Chiu clan's words. When they were on their way to the Chiu clan, they had been worried that the purple-clad young man, who had humiliated Dongfang Zhu, had an extraordinary background. If the purple-clad young man had a force that the Eastern Feng clan could not afford to offend, they would not be able to do anything to him no matter how angry they were, unless they did not care about the safety of the Eastern Feng clan. However, when they heard the second elder of the Chiu clan said the purple-clad young man was just a seckless cultivator, they were relieved. In their opinion, they did not need to worry about a seckless cultivator. Humiliate the Chiu clan? Duan Lingtian looked at the second elder of Chiu clan and said coldly, Senior, as the second elder of Chiu clan, do you think Chiu Gangyi did the right thing by undermining the Chiu clan's prestige and boosting the Dongfang clan's morale? Moreover, the clan leader and the grand elder of the Chiu clan did not say anything. Don't you think it's inappropriate for a mere second elder to say something? Duan Lingtian questioned the second elder of the Chiu clan after he finished speaking. You. The second elder of the Chiu clan was livid when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. However, he did not know how to refute Duan Lingtian's words. How could he refute Duan Lingtian's words? Should he admit that Chiu Gangyi did the right thing? Should he say that he did not overstep his authority? The second elder of the Chiu clan was one of the 3 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses in the Chiu clan. He was the only one among the 3 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses in the Chiu clan who agreed to force the eldest daughter of the Chiu clan, Chiu Muqing, to marry into the Eastern Feng clan. Duan Lingtian had learned about this from Chiu Muqing before he entered the Chiu clan's main hall. For this reason, Duan Lingtian did not have a good impression of the second elder of the Chiu clan. It would have been fine if the second elder of the Chiu clan did not speak up. However, now that the second elder of the Chiu clan had spoken up and targeted him, there was no reason for Duan Lingtian to hold back. Clan leader, Grand Elder, I'm just stating the facts. I have no intention of diminishing the prestige of the Chiu clan to boost the morale of the Chiu clan. Chiu Gangyi's expression changed drastically when he was accused by Duan Lingtian. He hastily looked at the clan leader and Grand Elder of the Chiu clan as he tried to defend himself. It was as though he was afraid he would infuriate the clan leader and Grand Elder if he was too slow. At this moment, Dongfang Gan, who had remained silent for a long time, suddenly chuckled. He had a mocking expression on his face as he said, It seems like the Chiu clan has really declined. I can't believe a seckless cultivator dares to cause a ruckus in the Chiu clan's main hall. If this was the Eastern Feng clan, a seckless cultivator like this would have died a few hundred times already. Dongfang Gan's eyes were filled with killing intent and disdain when he looked at Duan Lingtian. Is that so? Duan Ling Tian met his gaze without the slightest bit of fear as he sneered and replied with a question. Clan leader of Chiu clan. Duan Lingtian's fearless gaze further infuriated Dongfang Gan. Dongfang Gan's expression darkened as he looked at Chiu and Ping, the clan leader of Chiu clan. As long as you hand this sexless cultivator over to me, and let me take him away from the Chiu clan, the Eastern Fang clan will let bygones be bygones. Chapter 2077. The meaning behind Dongfang Gan's words was very simple. As long as the Chiu clan handed Duan Lingtian over to the Dongfang clan, the Dongfang clan would not pursue the matter. In fact, they would even join forces with the Chiu clan to fight against the strongest clan in Clarity City, the Feng clan. To the majority of the Chiu family members, this was definitely a profitable deal. After all, the purple-clad young man who called himself Li Feng was only a sexless cultivator. He was not a member of the Chiu clan. As long as the Chiu clan handed Li Feng over to the Dongfang clan, the Dongfang clan would not pursue the matter any further. Clan leader. As soon as Dongfang Gan finished speaking, Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, looked at the clan leader of Chiu clan, Chiu and Ping, with an eager expression on his face as he said, Li Feng is not a member of the Chiu clan. There's no need to drag the Chiu clan down for an outsider like him. As long as we hand Li Feng over, not only will our eldest sister not have to marry into the Dongfang clan, but the Dongfang clan will not pursue the matter any further. To the Chiu clan, to Big Sister, and even to you, the clan leader, this is a business that will only benefit us. Chiu Gang-yi's voice was filled with excitement. At this moment, he wished he was the clan leader of Chiu clan, so he could agree to Dongfang Gan's condition. In his opinion, this condition was too tempting. Not only would it resolve the matter today, but it would also resolve the conflict between the Chiu clan and the Dongfang clan. This was a win-win situation for the Chiu clan. At the same time, Chiu and Ping could not help but frown. Even if he did not want to admit it, he had to admit Dongfang Gan had made a concession when he proposed this condition. It was very tempting to him. If he cooperated, just like Chiu Gang-yi said, it would be a win-win situation. However, when Chiu and Ping thought about how Li Feng was his daughter's friend, he could not help but feel conflicted. He looked at Chiu Mu-ching with a complicated expression on his face. Father. Chiu Mu-ching, naturally, knew what her father was thinking when she saw him looking at her. Without any hesitation, she immediately stated, although my actions today are somewhat abrupt, that is only relative to big brother Li Feng. As for the Dongfang clan, I don't think my actions have anything to do with the Dongfang clan. From the beginning until the end, I've never agreed to the engagement with Dongfang Zhu. In other words, what does my actions have to do with the Dongfang clan? Dongfang clan has no right to threaten the Chiu clan. Chiu and Ping clan's clan leader, Chiu and Ping's clan, no matter what she did. Chiu An's. Chiu and Ping clan's Chiu and Ping Chiu and Fang Chiu clan. Chiu Mu-ching. At this moment, Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of Dongfang clan, could not help but growl. Currently, everyone in Clarity City knows that your Chiu clan and my Dongfang clan are going to unite by marriage. Moreover, you and I are the representatives of both parties. In the eyes of the people in Clarity City, it's only a matter of time before you marry into the Dongfang clan. For this reason, your actions today have made the Dongfang clan the laughingstock of Clarity City. How dare you say your actions have nothing to do with the Dongfang clan? In the end, Dongfang Zhu became somewhat hysterical. He was practically roaring at the top of his voice. Who else can you blame? If it wasn't for the Dongfang clan's wishful thinking and spreading the news, the people in Clarity City wouldn't have misunderstood us. Chiu Mu-ching said calmly. Wishful thinking? Chiu Mu-ching's words were like a thorn in Dongfang Zhu's heart, causing his face to turn pale. Now that he thought about it, Chiu Mu-ching was indeed his wishful thinking. Wishful thinking? When Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of Dongfang clan, heard Chiu Mu-ching's words, his expression darkened immediately. He looked at the second elder of Chiu clan and said in a deep voice, Elder Chiu Ji, if I'm not mistaken, You personally agreed to the marriage between our Dongfang clan and your Chiu clan, right? It seems like your words don't count in the Chiu clan, even though you're the second elder of the Chiu clan. If that's the case, then why did you agree to the marriage between our two families? Dongfang Qian's voice turned colder as he spoke. At the same time, he told everyone one thing. The marriage between the Chiu clan and the Dongfang clan was arranged by Qiu Ji, the second elder of Chiu clan. Qiu Muqing looked at Qiu Ji in disbelief when she heard Dongfang Qian's words. She said agitatedly, Second elder? What right do you have to decide my marriage? All this while, Qiu Muqing had thought Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Chiu clan, had led a group of elders to pressure her father into marrying Dongfang Zhu, so the Chiu clan and the Dongfang clan could form a marriage alliance. From the beginning until the end, even though the people in Clarity City had spread the news of the marriage alliance between the Chiu clan and the Dongfang clan, she had thought the Dongfang clan was the only one who spread the news. She did not expect Qiu Ji, the second elder of Chiu clan, would agree to the marriage alliance on behalf of the Chiu clan. As for her, she had been kept in the dark until just a moment ago. Father. Qiu Muqing looked at her father, Qiu Enping, the clan leader of Chiu clan, as though she had just recalled something. When she looked at Qiu Enping, a hint of uneasiness could be seen in the depths of her eyes. She could only hope her father did not know about this. Otherwise, she felt there was no one she could trust in this world. Qiu Ji. Qiu Muqing sighed in relief when she saw Qiu Enping's expression had changed drastically. At the very least, she was certain her father did not know about this. As the clan leader of Chiu clan, Qiu Enping was indeed unaware of this. When he heard Dongfang Qian's words, he looked at Qiu Ji angrily and roared. What right do you have to decide my daughter's marriage? Moreover, he decided on my daughter's marriage without me, her father, knowing anything about it. Even the grand elder of Chiu clan frowned when he heard this. He had just found out about this as well. Even he could not stand the second elder of Chiu clan taking matters into his own hands. What right do I have to decide your marriage? Qiu Ji looked at Qiu Muqing and said indifferently, You're a member of the Chiu clan, and I'm the second elder of Chiu clan. For the sake of the family, why can't you sacrifice me for the sake of the family? As for you, Qiu Ji looked at Qiu Enping and said indifferently, If I had told you about this beforehand, would you have agreed to my request? Moreover, your daughter won't be at a disadvantage if she marries into the Dongfang clan. Moreover, your position as the clan leader will be even more secure. Otherwise, who knows when the Chiu clan will be destroyed by the Feng clan. At that time, you won't even be able to be the clan leader. Qiu Ji seemed to be concerned about Qiu Enping when he spoke. Do you think I want to be the clan leader? Qiu Enping laughed when he heard Qiu Ji's words. In my eyes, the position of the clan leader is nothing compared to my daughter. Qiu Ji, you don't have the right to decide my daughter's marriage. Humph. Qiu Ji snorted coldly and continued. Now, even if I want to decide on your daughter's marriage, the Dongfang family won't let her marry into our family. I really don't know how you, Qiu Enping, raised your daughter to be so fickle, shameless, and dissolute. You're seeking death. Qiu Enping was enraged when he heard Qiu Ji insulted his daughter. Saint Origin surged out of his body as he attacked Qiu Ji at lightning speed. Although he and Qiu Ji were both powerhouses at the first form of the Saint Celestial stage, there was a huge difference in their strength. Bang! After the span of a breath, a loud noise rang in the air as Qiu Enping was sent flying by Qiu Ji's punch. Barf! Barf! When Qiu Enping was sent flying by Qiu Ji's punch, he threw up a mouthful of blood before he crashed heavily on the ground. Father! At this moment, Qiu Muqing finally regained her senses. She cried out worriedly, before she flew to Qiu Enping's side and helped him up. At the same time, a hint of hatred could be seen in Qiu Muqing's eyes when she looked at Qiu Ji. Qiu Ji, Duan Lingtian's expression darkened. Just as he was about to make a move, a furious voice rang in the air. It slowed down the Sun Saint energy in Duan Lingtian's body. The voice belonged to the Grand Elder of Chiu clan. He was looking at Qiu Ji coldly. Grand Elder. Qiu Ji's expression changed when he saw the Grand Elder of Chiu clan looking at him. Although he was much stronger than Qiu and Ping, the clan leader of Qiu clan, he was still inferior to the Grand Elder of Qiu clan. Although both of them were powerhouses at the first form of the Saint Celestial stage, Duan Ling Tian was stronger than Qiu and Ping, and the Grand Elder of Qiu clan. Duan Ling Tian's strength was above average among powerhouses at the first form of the Saint Celestial stage. Grand Elder, from the beginning until the end, I, Qiu Ji, have done everything for the sake of the clan. If you think I'm in the wrong, you can kill me. Qiu Ji suddenly said to the Grand Elder of Qiu clan with a solemn expression on his face. His retreat in order to advance move made the Qiu clan's Grand Elder hesitate. As the Grand Elder of Qiu clan, it was only natural that he wanted the clan to prosper in the future. Thinking about it, although what Qiu Ji did was a little too much, from the perspective of the family's interests, it was understandable. What a good excuse. Duan Ling Tian took a step forward and looked at Qiu Ji with a mocking smile on his face. Chapter 2078. When Duan Ling Tian saw Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan, injuring Qiu and Ping, the clan leader of Qiu clan, he had already planned to make a move. However, he did not make a move because the Grand Elder of Qiu clan had spoken. Now that he saw the Grand Elder of Qiu clan had no intention of making a move on Qiu Ji, he could not help but sneer. Sister Qiu has her own thoughts. Moreover, her father is still alive. Even if her marriage is to be decided, it's her father's business. It's not up to a shameless and disrespectful old fart like you to decide, right? Duan Ling Tian did not hold back as soon as he spoke. Not only did he scold Qiu Ji for being shameless and disrespectful, but he even called Qiu Ji an old fart. Li Feng, you're seeking death. Qiu Ji's expression changed when he heard Duan Ling Tian's merciless words. He glared at Duan Ling Tian angrily as he roared. The saint origin in his body began to surge and spread to the surface of his body. He was about to make a move on Duan Ling Tian. Qiu Ji did not expect this at all. A mere sexless cultivator dared to scold him in front of so many people. Moreover, Qiu Ji did not hold back at all. At this moment, he was completely enraged. Li Feng, who do you think you are? How dare you be disrespectful to the second elder? Today, I'll teach you a lesson and teach you how to behave. After that, I'll hand you over to the Dongfang clan's clan leader. Just as Qiu Ji was about to make a move, a furious and cold roar resonated in the air. It was Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan. At the same time, it was as though he had transformed into an arrow that had left the bow as he charged toward Duan Ling Tian at lightning speed. His speed was terrifyingly fast. Saint energy at the peak of the quintessential saint stage continued to surge out of Qiu Gangyi's body. It was vast and majestic, setting off gusts of wind that swept out in all directions. Many people's robes fluttered noisily. Whoosh! In just a blink of an eye, Qiu Gangyi, who was charging toward Duan Ling Tian, arrived. Devour! As soon as Qiu Gangyi charged toward Duan Ling Tian quickly mobilized the Sun Saint energy in his body. The Sun Saint energy surged out of his body through his 99 saint veins, in just a blink of an eye, and formed a faint whirlpool on his body. The vortex was turbulent, as if it could swallow everything. It was the divine ability, devouring technique. After Duan Ling Tian used the devouring technique, the heaven and earth spirit qi in the main hall of the Qiu family rushed into his body at a terrifying speed, and mixed with the Sun Saint force in his body. Then they fused and improved at an exaggerated speed. When Qiu Gangyi was only a few meters away from Duan Ling Tian, the Sun Saint power in Duan Ling Tian's body had reached its peak. It was comparable to the Mastery Quintessential Saint stage's saint energy. Almost at the same time, Duan Ling Tian's gaze turned cold and filled with killing intent. Suddenly whoosh! Duan Ling Tian did not make any move, but the sound of a sword whistling in the air rang in the air. It sounded like the sound of a ghost appearing and disappearing. In the blink of an eye, it sounded and stopped abruptly. It was as though it had never appeared. At this moment, the main hall fell silent. Under the watchful eyes of the others, Qiu Gangyi, who was only a few meters away from Duan Ling Tian, was sent flying by the momentum of his charge. When Duan Ling Tian dodged, a circular bloody wound appeared on Qiu Gangyi's neck. The bloody wound continued to expand at an extremely fast speed. Splash! 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 As the sound of water splashing reverberated in the air, blood splattered out of Qiu Gangyi's neck. Then Qiu Gangyi's head was separated from his body from his neck. Blood splattered everywhere, as the two halves of his body slammed into the wall of the main hall. Blood splattered everywhere, as though it had opened up a bloody path. It was dazzling and eye-catching. At the same time, Qiu Gangyi's body that had been severed into two was no longer breathing. He could not be any more dead. Time seemed to have stopped at this moment. The entire scene was deathly silent. In the main hall, apart from Duan Lingtian and Qiu Gangyi who had been killed, everyone was looking at Qiu Gangyi's body that had been severed into two. In their eyes, other than fear, there was also a mixture of shock and disbelief. They did not expect this to happen even in their wildest dreams. Gasp! 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 After a while, everyone present on the scene gasped when they regained their senses. The shock on their faces did not disappear for a long time. Even the 6 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses present on the scene were no exception. Following that, the 6 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses turned to look at Duan Lingtian one after another. At this moment, their gazes were completely different from before. He's so strong. Qiu Muqing stared at Duan Lingtian in shock and disbelief. She felt as though she was dreaming. Everything that was happening before her eyes was too surreal. From the moment she saw this purple-clad young man, she had thought he was extraordinary. She did not expect him to be so strong. He did not even make a move, but he had killed Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan. After all, Qiu Gangyi was a powerhouse at the peak of the quintessential saint stage. Since this purple-clad young man was able to kill Qiu Gangyi, it meant he was a Saint Celestial stage powerhouse just like her father. No. Impossible. Impossible. Qiu Muqing felt as though she was dreaming. Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang clan, was also looking at Duan Lingtian. How could he not feel like he was dreaming as well? He raised his hand and slapped himself in the face. Then he pinched his thigh. The pain on his face and leg reminded him that he was not dreaming. He wasn't dreaming. Everything that was happening before his eyes was real. This purple-clad young man who had taught him a lesson in the restaurant and caused him to hate him to the bone was indeed a Saint Celestial stage powerhouse. So what if he's a Saint Celestial stage powerhouse? My father and the 2 elders of the Eastern Fang clan are also Saint Celestial stage powerhouses. Dongfang Zhu thought about his father and the Grand Elder and Second Elder of the Eastern Fang clan. He felt much more confident. Thud, thud, thud. At the same time, under the watchful eyes of the others, Duan Lingtian slowly walked toward Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan. However, with every step he took, it felt as though he was stepping on Qiu Ji's chest. Horror dawned on Qiu Ji's face. In the end, Qiu Ji was on the verge of breaking down. At this moment, apart from Qiu Ji himself, only the other 5 people who were at the Saint Celestial stage like him could sense the changes in his emotions. They were the only ones who could sense how terrifying Duan Lingtian's attack was. When Duan Lingtian was halfway to Qiu Ji finally broke down. Qiu Ji could no longer endure the torment in his heart and broke down completely. Bang! At the same time, Qiu Ji, who had completely broken down, moved and fell to his knees. A loud sound rang in the air when his knees hit the ground. Bang! 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 In the next moment, a series of loud sounds rang in the air. Qiu Ji, who was kneeling on the ground, kept kowtowing to Duan Lingtian. He kowtowed again and again until his head was bleeding. However, it was as though he did not feel anything. He kept kowtowing, as though he could not feel any pain or exhaustion. Many people were dumbfounded by this scene. Qiu Muqing, Dongfang Zhu, and the 2 ordinary elders of the Eastern Fang clan were dumbfounded by this scene. After all, they could not compare to the other 5 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses. Although they had seen Duan Lingtian kill Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan, they thought he was just an ordinary Saint Celestial stage powerhouse. He did not realize that, Duan Lingtian was not an ordinary Saint Celestial stage powerhouse. His strength far surpassed the 6 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses present on the scene. The 6 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses, including the second elder of Qiu clan, Qiu Ji, who was kneeling on the ground and kowtowing to Duan Lingtian, could sense something from the sword strike Duan Lingtian had executed earlier. Based on Duan Lingtian's cultivation base, it was likely that he was not only at the second form of the Saint Celestial stage, he was at the third form of the Saint Celestial stage. In Clarity City, there were no powerhouses at the second form of the Saint Celestial stage, let alone the third form of the Saint Celestial stage. For this reason, the 6 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses present on the scene were terrified when they saw Duan Lingtian. This was especially true for Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan, who had wanted to attack Duan Lingtian earlier. When he saw Duan Lingtian's strength, and saw Duan Lingtian walking toward him, he broke down in fear. After he broke down, he immediately knelt and kowtowed to Duan Lingtian, in an attempt to appease Duan Lingtian's anger. Duan Lingtian could kill him as easily as killing a chicken. Sir. Please spare my life. Please spare my life. Please spare my life. Qiu Ji finally mustered up his courage, and begged Duan Lingtian for mercy after kowtowing more than 100 times. Qiu Muqing, Dongfang Zhu, and the 2 ordinary elders from the Eastern Feng clan who were standing nearby were stunned by Qiu Ji's humble attitude. Was the old man kneeling on the ground really the second elder of Qiu clan? The arrogant second elder of Qiu clan actually had such a side to him? Qiu Muqing and the others could not understand Qiu Ji's current state of mind. They were stunned for a long time before they regained their senses. If I'm not mistaken, Duan Lingtian, who had stopped moving when Qiu Ji knelt on the ground and looked at Qiu Ji coldly, finally spoke when Qiu Ji begged for mercy. Chapter 2079. No, 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 absolutely not. Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan, turned pale when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. His body began to tremble violently, as though he was scared out of his wits. Bang! 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 At the same time, Qiu Ji's speed of kowtowing increased. With a loud bang, the floor of the Qiu family's main hall was smashed open by his kowtowing. Ferocious cracks spread out like a giant spider web. The current Qiu Ji had completely tossed his identity and dignity to the back of his mind. There was only one thought in his mind at this moment. He had to survive. As a powerhouse at the first form of the Saint Celestial stage, Qiu Ji knew the hardships he had gone through. He had worked hard for hundreds of years to reach where he was today. If he died now, he would be leaving this world forever. His efforts over the past hundreds of years would be in vain. When he thought of this, he was naturally very unwilling to accept this. It should be known that even if his cultivation did not improve, with his current cultivation, it would not be a problem for him to live for another 1,000 years. For this reason, Qiu Ji yearned to live. He had not lived long enough. He still had thousands of years to live. Qiu Ji had thought of this when Duan Lingtian walked toward him in a menacing manner earlier. However, when he was pressured by Duan Lingtian, his mental defenses crumbled completely. At this moment, he did not hesitate to kneel and beg Duan Lingtian for mercy, so that he could live. To the current him, as long as he could survive, nothing else mattered. No. Duan Lingtian looked coldly at Qiu Ji, who was kneeling and kowtowing as he begged for mercy. A sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth as he said calmly, "So you're saying I'm deaf? Or am I blind? Is that so?" Duan Lingtian's tone became heavier as he spoke. After hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Qiu Ji knew that he had made a mistake. He could feel the Duan Lingtian's heavy tone, and his heart trembled. He was scared out of his wits. Following that, he kowtowed even harder and begged for mercy. "Sir, I have eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please spare my life. As long as your excellency is willing to spare my life, I am willing to do anything for your excellency without any complaints. My lord, please spare my life. Spare me." Qiu Ji, whose face was covered in blood, no longer looked like a Saint Celestial stage powerhouse. Instead, he looked more like an old servant who had made a mistake. If there was anyone present who could understand Qiuji's current feelings, it would be none other than the other 5 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses. The sword strike that Duan Lingtian used to kill Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan, had caused them to feel fear from the bottom of their hearts and souls. After that, they no longer dared to make an enemy out of Duan Lingtian. For this reason, they did not look down on Qiuji when they saw how cowardly he was in front of Duan Lingtian. Instead, they felt it was normal. "Do you want to do anything for my excellency?" Duan Lingtian asked in a deep voice after he frowned when he heard Qiuji begging for mercy. He was getting a little annoyed. Yes, I'm willing to do anything for your excellency." Qiuji heaved a sigh of relief when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. He could sense a turning point in the situation that would allow him to live. "I don't need you to do anything for me." However, Duan Lingtian's words caused Qiuji to feel as though he had fallen into an ice cave. He felt chills running up his spine. Qiuji felt as though the sky had darkened when Duan Lingtian said, "However, if Sister Qiu wants you to do anything for her, I won't hold it against you." As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, the eldest daughter of the Qiu clan, Qiu Muqing, who was supporting her father, became the center of attention. Qiu Muqing was still shocked by Qiuji's performance in front of Duan Lingtian. She was stunned when she heard Duan Lingtian's words and saw many people looking at her. Bang! Before Qiu Muqing could regain her senses, a ghostly figure had already knelt in front of her like a dead dog. Upon closer inspection, one could see it was Qiuji, who had knelt in front of Duan Lingtian earlier. "Second elder you?" Qiu Muqing was startled. Qiu Muqing was shocked when she saw the second elder, Qiuji, who used to be high and mighty, kneeling in front of her. Fear and uneasiness could be seen on her face. It was no wonder Qiu Muqing reacted in such a manner. In the past, as the second elder of Qiu clan, and the second strongest person in Qiu clan, Qiuji's status in Qiu clan was even higher than the clan leader of Qiu clan. He was only second to the grand elder of Qiu clan. However, today, this person whom even her father, Qiu Ping, the clan leader of the Qiu clan, was afraid of was kneeling in front of a junior of the Qiu clan. Qiu Muqing was shocked. "Sister Muqing, from today onward Qiuji will be your dog." While Qiu Muqing was still in shock, Qiuji said confidently, "In the future, I'll bite whoever Sister Muqing points at. I won't hesitate for even a second. If you don't believe me, I'll swear on the lightning penalty oath." As soon as Qiuji finished speaking, he made his move again. He pricked his finger, and a drop of blood rose into the air. As soon as Qiuji made the oath, the 99 heavenly tribulation responded. Boom, 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 boom. 9 claps of thunder reverberated in the air. This meant Qiuji's oath had been answered. He could not go back on his word, unless he wanted to be killed by the lightning penalty. Based on Qiuji's actions, one could see he was afraid of death. Since he was bound by the lightning penalty oath, it was only natural he would not do anything that would violate the oath. "Second elder you don't have to do this." Qiu Muqing was shocked when Qiuji said he would be her dog. When she saw Qiuji had sworn on the lightning penalty oath, she quickly regained her senses and waved her hand at Qiuji. Qiu Muqing had always been respectful to Qiuji, the second elder of Qiu clan. She did not dare to slight him at all. However, today, this person whom she had to respect in the past swore on the lightning penalty oath that he would be an obedient dog by her side. How could she accept this? It would be great if she did not have a heart attack. "Sister Muqing, I've sworn on the lightning penalty oath. From today onward, I'll follow your orders." Qiuji's blood-stained face was expressionless, but between his words, there was a solemn vow, mixed with an unquestionable tone. "Elder Sister Qiu, since he wants to be a servant by your side, just let him be. This way in the future, you will have one more person by your side that you can order around." Duan Lingtian said to Qiu Muqing at the same time. He was satisfied with Qiuji's performance. His anger toward Qiuji had completely dissipated. "Duan." Qiu Muqing turned to look at Duan Lingtian immediately when she heard his words. However, as soon as she opened her mouth, she recalled Duan Lingtian's words. She hastily changed her words and said, "Brother Li Feng, I already have many servants and maids around me." "You mean, you don't lack people to order around?" Duan Lingtian asked as he interrupted Qiu Muqing. "Yes." Qiu Muqing hesitated for a moment before she nodded. Although she did not know why Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan, was so afraid of Duan Lingtian, she felt uneasy when she thought about how Qiu Ji wanted to be her servant. "If that's the case, there's no need for us to keep him." Duan Lingtian nodded when he heard Qiu Muqing's words. His eyes flashed fiercely as he looked at Qiu Ji. Bang! 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 As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking and looked at Qiu Ji began to kowtow to Qiu Muqing in a panic. As he kowtowed, he said in a panic, "Sister Muqing, please accept me. Please, please." Qiu Ji no longer had the arrogance he had before. At this moment, he only wanted to be Qiu Muqing's servant, so he could continue living. Even if he was humiliated, he was still alive. "Muqing, please accept him." At the same time, Qiu Ping, the clan leader of Qiu clan, who was being supported by Qiu Muqing, finally regained his senses. He quickly persuaded Qiu Muqing to accept Qiu Ji as her servant. Looking at Qiu Ji, who had just injured him, Qiu Anping only felt elated. At the same time, he felt like he was dreaming, but he wasn't too surprised. Although Qiu Ji's actions seemed crazy, he could understand why he would do so. After all, with Duan Lingtian's strength, there were only two options for Qiu Ji. The first option was death. The second option was to live, but he had to become Qiu Muqing's servant. "Father." Qiu Muqing was stunned when she heard her father's words. She did not expect her father would persuade her to accept Qiu Ji as her servant as well. "Muqing, your brother Li Feng isn't an ordinary person. You should be grateful that he has done so much for you," Qiu Ping said to Qiu Muqing through voice transmission. He was trying to persuade Qiu Muqing. He was not an ordinary person. At this moment, no matter how slow Qiu Muqing's reaction was, she could tell Duan Lingtian was not an ordinary person. If he was an ordinary person, how could he have killed Qiu Gangyi, the second master of Qiu clan? How could he have forced Qiu Ji, the second master of Qiu clan, to kneel and beg for mercy and agree to become her servant? From the beginning until the end, even the grand elder of Qiu clan, who was the strongest person in Qiu clan, did not say a word. Clearly, even the grand elder of Qiu clan, the strongest person in Qiu clan, whom she respected the most, did not even dare to breathe loudly in front of Duan Lingtian. Chapter 2080. I'll agree to your request. Qiu Muqing glanced at Qiu Ji, who was kowtowing and begging for mercy, before she looked at Duan Lingtian, who was standing nearby. In the end, she finally agreed to Qiu Ji's request when she saw Duan Lingtian looking at her. Qiu Ji's body trembled when he heard Qiu Muqing's reply. "Thank you, Sister Muqing. Thank you, Sister Muqing." Qiu Ji finally stood up and stood behind Qiu Muqing. Soon after, he became Qiu Muqing's servant. "Clan leader, I apologize for offending you earlier. After this incident, I, Qiu Ji, won't even blink an eye if you punish me," Qiu Ji said to Qiu Ping after he stood behind Qiu Muqing. In the past, as the second elder of Qiu clan, he was much stronger than the clan leader of Qiu clan. He did not think much of the clan leader of Qiu clan. This could be seen from the fact that he had injured Qiu Anping when he fought with him earlier. However, things were different now. In Qiu Ji's eyes, Qiu Ping was no longer the clan leader of Qiu clan. He was the father of Qiu Muqing. As for Qiu Muqing, she was under the protection of the sectless cultivator, who called himself Li Feng. After all, Li Feng could easily kill Qiu Ping. Since he had become Qiu Muqing's servant because of Li Feng, he did not dare to treat Qiu Ping as he did in the past. Whoosh! The great elder of the Qiu clan was standing not far away. When he saw that Qiu Ji was not dead, he couldn't help but feel relieved. At the same time, he felt cold sweat on his back. His clothes were soaked with cold sweat. The truth. When he first saw Li Feng and heard Li Feng was only a sectless cultivator, he did not think much of Li Feng at all. Later on, when he came to the main hall and heard the conditions of the clan leader of Dongfang clan, Dongfang Qian, he was willing to hand Li Feng over to appease the enmity between the Qiu clan and the Dongfang clan. After all, Li Feng was not a member of the Qiu clan. He did not think it was necessary for the Qiu clan to fall out with the Dongfang clan for Li Feng. Falling out with the Dongfang family would only be bad for the Qiu family, and not good for them. If the clan fell out with the Dongfang clan, the Qiu clan would be destroyed, the Dongfang clan, before the Qiu clan. Qiu and Ping and the Dongfang clans and the Qiu clan. Compared to the overall situation of the clan, a mere rogue cultivator was insignificant. However, since Li Feng was Qiu Muqing's friend, and he treated Qiu Muqing as half a granddaughter, he did not express his opinion even though he had such thoughts. However, the development of the situation was completely out of his expectations. First, Qiu Ji, the second elder of the Qiu clan, had secretly betrothed Qiu Muqing to the second young master of the Dongfang clan, without the permission of Qiu and Ping and Qiu Muqing. Then Li Feng, the sexless cultivator who had been inconspicuous since the beginning, stepped forward and reprimanded Qiu Ji. Qiu Ji was furious and wanted to make a move on Li Feng. At the critical moment, Qiu Gangyi, the second master of the Qiu clan, made a move on Li Feng. However, he was instantly killed by Li Feng. Although Qiu and Ping's cultivation base was close to the peak of the first form of the Saint Celestial stage, he did not see Li Feng's sword strike that killed Qiu Gangyi. It was to the extent that when the short-lived sword whistle sounded, waves of coldness involuntarily rose in his heart. At that moment, he had a feeling he was certain of. Even if he had been in Qiu Gangyi's position, he would have been killed by that sword strike. The third form of the Saint Celestial stage. This Li Feng must be at the third form of the Saint Celestial stage or higher. I'm certain even a powerhouse at the second form of the Saint Celestial stage wouldn't be able to cast such a terrifying sword strike. This was the thought that came to the Grand Elder of Qiu clan when Duan Lingtian killed Qiu Muqing. He was not the only one who had such thoughts. The clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu and Ping, the second elder of Qiu clan, Qiu Ji, the clan leader of the Dongfang clan, Dongfang Qian, and the grand elder and second elder of the Dongfang clan shared the same thoughts. For this reason, Qiu Ji had a mental breakdown when he saw Duan Lingtian approaching him menacingly. For this reason, the other 5 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses, including the grand elder of Qiu clan, did not find it embarrassing when they saw Qiu Ji begging Duan Lingtian for mercy. In fact, they thought it was normal. The Qiu clan's main hall fell silent again. In the end, Duan Lingtian was the first to break the silence in the Qiu clan's main hall. Duan Lingtian turned around abruptly and looked at the group of people standing nearby. He just looked at them calmly. The group of people Duan Lingtian was looking at was none other than the people from the Dongfang clan. When the people from the Dongfang clan saw Duan Lingtian looking at them, they could not help but panic, even though they were mentally prepared. Their expressions changed drastically. Thud, thud, thud. At the same time, Duan Lingtian slowly walked toward the people from the Dongfang clan. This scene was similar to when Duan Lingtian walked toward Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan. However, when Qiu Ji saw Duan Lingtian walking toward him, he immediately knelt and kowtowed to apologize. In the end, he even agreed to become Qiu Muqing's servant in order to save his own life. Will the people from the Dongfang clan kneel and kowtow to apologize like Qiu Ji? At this moment, the clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu and Ping, and the grand elder of Qiu clan had the same question in their hearts. Thud, thud. Every time Duan Lingtian took a step forward, a soft thud would ring in the air. When the soft thuds entered the ears of the people from the Dongfang clan, it was as though thunder had struck them. It caused their hearts to tremble. At this moment, only the second young master of the Dongfang clan, Dongfang Zhu, and the 2 ordinary elders from the Dongfang clan were in a better state. Although they knew Duan Lingtian was very strong, they did not know if Duan Lingtian was stronger than the 3 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses from the Dongfang clan. At this moment, whether it was the clan leader of Dongfang clan, Dongfang Qian, or the grand elder and second elder of Dongfang clan, All of them were on the verge of breaking down when faced with Duan Ling Tian, who was approaching them step by step. Naturally, they were different from Qiu Ji, who was alone and helpless earlier. Since the three of them were standing together, it was as though they were huddled together. Although they were wary of Duan Ling Tian, they were still slightly better off than Qiu Ji. Even when Duan Ling Tian was close to them, they did not kneel and beg for mercy like Qiu Ji did. However, the fear in their hearts was not any less than what Qiu Ji felt at that time. It seems like the clan leader, Grand Elder and Second Elder aren't afraid of Li Feng. The calmness of the three Saint Celestial stage powerhouses from the Dongfang clan misled Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Dongfang clan, and the two ordinary elders from the Dongfang clan. They thought Dongfang Qian and the other two were not afraid of Duan Ling Tian, causing them to heave a sigh of relief. At the same time, they felt Duan Ling Tian was not as scary as they thought. Dongfang Qian and the other two were unaware of Dongfang Zhu and the other two's thoughts. Otherwise, they would have vomited blood from anger. Were they not afraid of the purple-clad young man? At this moment, they wished they could kneel and beg for mercy. They hoped Duan Ling Tian would not look for trouble with them and the Dongfang clan. However, since the three of them were standing together without anyone taking the lead, they did not make a move. Earlier, Duan Lingtian's calm gaze instantly landed on Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Dongfang clan, and he said indifferently, "Clan leader of the Dongfang clan, it seems like you want the Qiu clan to hand me over to you. Are you going to invite me back to the Dongfang clan as a guest? Since the Dongfang clan's clan leader is so kind, it's difficult for me to refuse. I'll invite the Dongfang clan's clan leader back to the Dongfang clan. What do you think?" A hint of mockery could be seen in the depths of Duan Lingtian's eyes. When Dongfang Qian heard Duan Lingtian's words, he was so frightened that his legs turned to jelly. He almost fell to his knees. Dongfang Qian was so frightened that his legs turned to jelly. He wished he could slap himself twice and reprimand himself for saying those words. "Li Feng, in your dreams!" A loud shout suddenly resounded in the Qiu clan's great hall. It startled everyone in the Qiu clan's great hall and attracted everyone's attention. At this moment, everyone, including Duan Ling Tian, shifted their gazes to the person who had shouted. Duan Ling Tian narrowed his eyes. As for the others, apart from the two ordinary elders of the Dongfang clan and the person who had shouted, they were all shocked. The person who had shouted was none other than Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Dongfang clan. Dongfang Zhu mustered his courage and looked at Duan Ling Tian with a gloomy expression. When he saw everyone looking at him, he straightened his back and said sternly, "My father asked the Qiu clan to hand you over because he wants to kill you." Bang! Ah! Dongfang Zhu was interrupted before he could finish speaking. At the same time, a loud sound rang in the air, followed by a shrill cry. Two sounds rang in the air almost at the same time. Boom! After about half a breath, another soft sound rang in the air. It was the sound of a heavy object falling to the ground. Before Dongfang Zhu could finish his words, he was kicked away by the panicked Dongfang Gan. From the beginning to the end, Dongfang Gan didn't even have the time to reprimand Dongfang Zhu. He only had the time to stop Dongfang Zhu. When Dongfang Qian kicked Dongfang Zhu away, he was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. This bastard! Can't he see that this sexless cultivator is not to be trifled with? Can't he see that the Grand Elder, the Second Elder, and I have to act like cowards in front of him? Fa. Father. Dongfang Zhu, who had been kicked away and suffered a superficial wound, was furious. However, when he discovered that the person who kicked him was his father, he was stunned. "Father! You, what are you doing?" Chapter 2081. Dongfang Zhu did not suffer any injuries when he was sent flying, because Dongfang Qian had held back. However, Dongfang Zhu was still dizzy from the fall. He did not know why his father would do this to him. However, he was stunned again in the next moment. At the same time that he was dumbfounded, the blood completely drained from his originally dumbfounded face. What replaced it was a deathly white sheet of paper. This was because a scene that he would never forget for the rest of his life had suddenly appeared before his eyes. He saw Bang, Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang family, followed Qiu Ji, the second elder of the Qiu clan, and knelt in front of Duan Lingtian, as though he was a lowly servant bowing to his master. My lord, my son is not sensible, please forgive him. Dongfang Qian's voice trembled as he knelt in front of Duan Lingtian. His voice was filled with fear and dread. It was as though the person standing in front of him was not a person, but a god of death who could take his life at any time. If I didn't hear wrongly, your son said you wanted to kill me by asking the Qiu clan to hand me over? Duan Lingtian's tone was as calm as before as he looked at Dongfang Gan, who was kneeling on the ground. However, there was a hint of killing intent in his voice at this moment. No, there's no such thing. Dongfang Qian was so frightened that his body trembled violently when he heard Duan Lingtian's words. At the same time, he hurriedly denied it. Since there's no such thing, then you'll have to swear on the lightning penalty oath that you've never thought of killing me from the beginning until the end. Duan Lingtian obviously did not believe Dongfang Qian's words. When he spoke again, he made a request. When Dongfang Qian heard Duan Lingtian's request, not only did Dongfang Qian's expression change drastically, but the expressions of the people from the Eastern Fang family, including Dongfang Zhu, changed drastically as well. Their purpose in coming to the Qiu family today was to force the Qiu family to hand over the purple-robed young man and kill him. In that case, how could Dongfang Gan dare to swear on the lightning penalty oath according to Duan Lingtian's request? Once he made such an oath, he would be killed by the lightning punishment in the blink of an eye. The patriarch of the Eastern Fang family, Dongfang Gan, is finished. Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan, who was standing behind Qiu Muqing, was shocked when he heard Duan Lingtian's request. He knew Dongfang Gan was doomed. Sir, I was confused for a moment. It was a moment of folly. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, my lord. Sensing that Duan Lingtian's calm gaze had become increasingly cold, Dongfang Gan also realized the danger. He immediately begged for mercy as he kowtowed. Bang! 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 Once Dongfang Gan started kowtowing, there was no end to it. He had no intention of stopping for a long time. Humph! Duan Lingtian snorted coldly. His expression gradually turned cold. He did not feel any better because of Dongfang Gan's kowtowing. I have a principle. At the same time, Duan Lingtian said coldly. As long as it's someone who wants to kill me, I won't let him live in this world. In just one sentence, Duan Lingtian had stated his principle. He would not let anyone who tried to kill him go. Then you can go to hell. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, Dongfang Gan realized Duan Lingtian would not let him go. Not only did he stop kowtowing, but he even shot up like a cannonball toward Duan Lingtian. Based on the surge of saint origin in his body, it was obvious he had been accumulating his strength for a long time. It was impossible for him to mobilize such a terrifying amount of saint origin in such a short time. Hua! However, the moment Dongfang Gan shot up, a turbulent vortex appeared with Duan Lingtian as the center. It once again devoured all the heaven and earth spirit energy in the Qiu family's main hall. It also caused the sun saint energy in Duan Lingtian's body to rise rapidly to its peak. As the sun saint energy rose to its peak, Dongfang Gan had already arrived in front of Duan Lingtian. He was only a short distance away from Duan Lingtian. If you want to kill me, you have to have the strength to do so, Duan Lingtian said calmly when he felt the gusts of wind that were stirred up by Dongfang Gan's arrival. Almost at the moment he opened his mouth, Xiao! Just like before, the sound of the sword whistling could be heard once again. Then, everyone saw Duan Lingtian stomping on the ground and leaping 3 meters into the air. As soon as Duan Lingtian leaped up, Dongfang Gan, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang family, followed in the footsteps of the Qiu family's second master, Qiu Gangyi. His body was severed into 2, and he was sent flying by the inertia. He slammed hard against the wall of the Qiu family's main hall, leaving a trail of blood behind him. Boom! Boom! When the 2 halves of the body fell to the ground, the sound entered everyone's ears. Their hearts trembled in fear. After all, The person who was killed was not a quintessential saint stage martial cultivator like Qiu Gangyi. He was a true saint celestial stage powerhouse, one of the top powerhouses in Clarity City. However, such a powerhouse had been killed in just a blink of an eye. He had died in front of their eyes. The Qiu family's main hall fell silent again. So weak, everyone only regained their senses when Duan Lingtian spoke again. Father. When Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang family, regained his senses, his face turned even paler. Fear could be seen in his eyes. Not even in his wildest dreams did he expect his father, who was like an invincible god of war, would die just like that. His father had died in the hands of this sectless cultivator, who called himself Li Feng. At the same time, a sense of regret rose in his heart. He regretted that he had tried to seduce Qiu Muqing in the past. Why did he continue to pester her even after she had rejected him? If he did not do that, he would not have gone to the restaurant with Qiu Muqing. If he did not go to the restaurant, he would not have encountered this fiend. If he did not encounter this fiend, he would not have gotten into a conflict with this fiend, and escalated the conflict to such an extent. Run! Dongfang Zhu's expression changed a few times when he saw Dongfang Gan's body. Then, he moved like a bolt of lightning and charged out of the Qiu family's main hall. At this moment, he only wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. His father had kowtowed and begged for mercy, but he was still killed by Li Feng in the end. He didn't think that Li Feng would be merciful to him. However, would he be able to escape? Trying to escape? When Dongfang Zhu made his move, Duan Lingtian raised his brows. The Sun Saint energy in his body calmed down immediately. He did not make a move. He did not make a move because someone else had already made a move. Whoosh! A gust of wind whistled in the air. Before Dongfang Zhu could escape from the Qiu clan's main hall, he was caught by someone like an eagle catching a chicken. Grand Elder. Why? At the same time, Dongfang Zhu, who was being carried like a chicken by an eagle, was shocked when he saw the person who had grabbed him. At the same time, he asked in disbelief, "Who are you?" This was because the person who caught him was none other than the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family. The Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family was a tall and sturdy old man. He was almost 2 meters tall. Now that he was holding Dongfang Zhu in his hand, it looked like he was an eagle catching a chicken. Lord Li Feng. The Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family ignored Dongfang Zhu's question and brought Dongfang Zhu to Duan Lingtian. He asked Duan Lingtian respectfully, "This Dongfang Zhu, how does Lord Li Feng want to deal with him? How should I deal with him?" Duan Lingtian looked at the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family indifferently and asked, "Didn't you hear what I said earlier?" When the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family heard this, his heart skipped a beat. He looked at Dongfang Zhu sharply. No. When Dongfang Zhu sensed the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family's sharp gaze, he seemed to realize something. His expression changed drastically, and he cried out in panic, "Grand Elder, you can't kill me. You can't kill me." Crack. In the end, the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family directly broke Dongfang Zhu's neck and killed him. He acted decisively, and without any hesitation. When the people from the Qiu family saw this, their hearts skipped a beat. They felt that the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family was ruthless. "Lord Li Feng, I came here because I was misled by Dongfang Gan and his son. I didn't mean to offend Lord Li Feng. I hope Lord Li Feng can forgive me." After killing Dongfang Zhu, the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family looked at Duan Lingtian respectfully and apologized. "Lord Li Feng, just like the Grand Elder, I didn't mean to offend you." At the same time, the second elder of the Eastern Fang family also expressed his stance. Bang! Bang! As for the 2 ordinary elders of the Eastern Fang family, they kneeled on the ground as they trembled. "Lord Li Feng, please spare our lives. Lord Li Feng, please spare our lives." Just like that, a shocking scene played out in the Qiu family's main hall. A purple-clad young man who looked extremely young stood there motionlessly. In front of him, 2 old men with extraordinary bearings bowed respectfully. Their faces were filled with fear and anxiety. They looked like criminals who were waiting to be judged. 2 old men kneeled on the ground nearby as they trembled in fear. Duan Lingtian. Who is he? Xiao Muqing's beautiful eyes were filled with excitement when she saw the scenes in front of her. She could not help but look at the scenes in front of her. At the same time, Xiao Muqing became even more curious about Duan Lingtian's origin. Wait, Duan Lingtian? He's Duan Lingtian. Xiao Muqing suddenly recalled something. Her eyes widened in shock. Don't tell me he's the prodigy from the Zoroastrianism called Duan Lingtian? Chapter 2082. In fact, before she returned to the Qiu clan and went to look for her father, Xiao Muqing was stunned when she heard Duan Lingtian's name. This was because the name Duan Lingtian was not unfamiliar to her. Perhaps, it was even familiar to people from the western region of the Dao Martial Saint Land. Although Clarity City, where the Qiu clan was located at the border of the western region, it was still located in the western region. News of the major events in the western region would spread to Clarity City. Most of the major events in the western region came from the fire worship sect, the saint sect of the western region. Apart from being the religion of many people in the western region, Zoroastrianism was also one of the three great sects in the Dao Martial Saint Land. It was one of the three most powerful sects in the Dao Martial Saint Land. For this reason, many people in the western region paid attention to Zoroastrianism. Not long ago, a shocking piece of news had spread from Zoroastrianism. Not only did it shock the entire western region, but it had also spread to the entire upper province of the Dao Martial Saint Land. This piece of news came from a new prodigy in Zoroastrianism. Ever since that prodigy was born, there were 8 new prodigies in the younger generation of Zoroastrianism. The 8 new prodigies in Zoroastrianism were all powerhouses who had entered the Supreme Saint ranking at a young age. The weakest among them was at the second form of the Saint Celestial stage. Moreover, they were all elites at the second form of the Saint Celestial stage. Duan Lingtian? Isn't that the name of the new prodigy in Zoroastrianism? This was the first thing that appeared in Xiao Muqing's mind when she heard Duan Lingtian's name. Before today, Xiao Muqing had already remembered Duan Lingtian's name in her heart. This was because it was the name of the 8th prodigy in Zoroastrianism. Xiao Muqing knew Duan Lingtian, the new prodigy of the Zoroastrianism. Duan Lingtian, one of the 8 heavenly sons of Zoroastrianism, was also a newly born heavenly son. It was said that he had joined Zoroastrianism for less than a year. And it was in this less than a year's time that Li Shiqiang and the others had arrived. Duan Lingtian had made a name for himself in Zoroastrianism. He was ranked 4th among the 8 great Zoroastrianism prodigies. His ranking on the Zoroastrianism true ranking was second only to 3 true disciples, whose cultivation bases were at the 3rd form of the Saint Celestial stage. Moreover, he had entered the Supreme Saint ranking and was ranked 537th on the Supreme Saint ranking. This was Qiu family's Muqing's understanding of Duan Lingtian, the prodigy of Zoroastrianism. However, Qiu Muqing was unaware of this. Not long ago, Duan Lingtian from the fire worship sect had defeated Buhong, a true disciple at the 3rd form of the Saint Celestial stage, who was ranked 2nd on the true ranking. He had replaced Buhong and became the new 2nd person on the true ranking. Currently, Duan Lingtian was widely acknowledged as the 2nd strongest prodigy among the younger generation of Zoroastrianism. Apart from that, Buhong, who was defeated by Duan Lingtian, was ranked 2nd on the Zoroastrianism true ranking, and he was ranked at the 421st place on the Supreme Saint ranking as well. Since Duan Lingtian had defeated Buhong, it meant Buhong was now ranked at the 421st place on the Supreme Saint ranking. The reason Xiao Muqing was unaware of this was because the news had not spread to Kongming City yet. They're both called Duan Lingtian, and they're both so young and so strong. Could it be that he's really Duan Lingtian, the prodigy of Zoroastrianism? The more Xiao Muqing thought about it, the more certain she became. She had met the purple-clad young man in the restaurant earlier. He was indeed Duan Lingtian, the prodigy of Zoroastrianism. If he's really Duan Lingtian, then it makes sense why he asked me to conceal his real name. It's said that he has offended many people in Zoroastrianism, including high-ranking officials in Zoroastrianism. He must be worried the high-ranking officials in Zoroastrianism would harm him if they found out he's in Clarity City. Qiu Muqing was very smart. Based on the information she had gathered, she was able to guess Duan Lingtian's thoughts. She only guessed half of what Duan Lingtian was thinking. Duan Lingtian did not want the high-ranking officials in Zoroastrianism to know he was in Clarity City, because he was worried the high-ranking officials in Zoroastrianism would harm the Qiu clan and Qiu Muqing after he left Clarity City. Duan Lingtian was not worried at all. After all, he had only stayed in Clarity City for a short time. By the time the high-ranking officials in Zoroastrianism learned he was in Clarity City, he would have left Clarity City. All of you don't want to die? When the 4 elders from Dongfang clan were waiting anxiously for Duan Lingtian's judgment, Duan Lingtian finally opened his mouth and asked the 4 of them if they did not want to die. The clan leader, grand elder and second elder of Qiu clan were rendered speechless when they heard Duan Lingtian's words. If they did not want to die, would the 4 elders from the Eastern Fang clan be so cowardly? They felt Duan Lingtian's question was unnecessary. Naturally, they only thought about it in their hearts. They did not dare to say it out loud for fear of angering Duan Lingtian. Based on the strength displayed by this sexless cultivator, who called himself Li Feng, it would be easy for him to kill all 3 of them, let alone a few Saint Celestial stage powerhouses from the Eastern Fang clan. Lord, I don't want to die. The Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang clan was the first to speak. He had a panicked expression on his face. If he did not want to die, he would not have worked so hard to capture Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang clan, and bring him to Duan Lingtian. With Duan Lingtian's strength, Dongfang Zhu would not have been able to escape. However, he had done this because he wanted to show off to Duan Lingtian. Lord, I don't want to die as well. The second elder of the Eastern Fang clan chimed in a panic. Lord Li Feng, I don't want to die. Lord Li Feng, I don't want to die. The other 2 elders from the Eastern Fang clan, who were kneeling on the ground, also expressed their stance. At the same time, they felt even more anxious. At this moment, their lives were in the hands of this purple-clad young man before them. If he wanted them to live, they would live. If he wanted them to die, they would die. It's not difficult for all of you to live, Duan Lingtian said indifferently before he paused for a moment. The eyes of the 4 elders from the Eastern Fang clan lit up immediately. It was as though they had found a life-saving straw. However, you'll have to show me your sincerity. Duan Lingtian paused for a moment before he continued to speak. At this moment, Duan Lingtian shifted his gaze from the 4 elders from the Eastern Fang clan to Qiu Muqing, the eldest daughter of the Qiu clan. He remained silent after that. As soon as Duan Lingtian finished speaking, the 4 elders from the Eastern Fang clan were staring at Duan Lingtian. For this reason, they immediately noticed Duan Lingtian's gaze. They followed Duan Lingtian's gaze and saw Qiu Muqing standing in the distance. I, Dongfang Pe, swear on my blood. The Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang clan immediately regained his senses. He quickly pricked his finger and squeezed out a drop of blood before he said in a loud voice, From today onward, I'll become the eldest daughter of the Qiu Muqing. From today onward, I, Dongfang Pe, will acknowledge Qiu Muqing as my master. I'll only obey Sister Muqing's orders, and won't do anything to harm Sister Muqing. If I violate this oath, I'm willing to be struck to death by the 99 heavenly tribulation. Dongfang Pe, the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang clan said, Boom, 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 boom. 9 claps of thunder descended from the sky in response to the lightning penalty oath that Dongfang Pe had just sworn. Qiu Muqing was dumbfounded. Did she have another servant? Moreover, this servant was even stronger than Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan. His strength was comparable to the Grand Elder of Qiu clan. Qiu Muqing and the Grand Elder of Qiu clan were stunned. He did not expect Dongfang Pe, the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang clan, who was as powerful as him in Clarity City, would willingly acknowledge Qiu Muqing as his master and become her servant in order to survive. However, if he was in Dongfang Pe's shoes, he might have made the same decision as well. After all, It was not easy for him to attain his current cultivation base. If he died, he would lose thousands of years of his life. In order to survive, it was not important for him to maintain his dignity. Qiu Ji, the second elder of Qiu clan, was not surprised when he saw this. It was as though he had expected this to happen. On the other hand, Qiu Enping, the clan leader of Qiu clan, was dumbfounded. Dongfang Pe, the grand elder of the Eastern Fang clan, was as powerful as the grand elder of Qiu clan. In the past, Dongfang Pe was someone whom Qiu Enping had to look up to. However, he had sworn on the lightning penalty oath to acknowledge his daughter as his master? I'm not dreaming, am I? Qiu Enping was initially stunned. Later on, after confirming that he wasn't dreaming, he couldn't help but be wild with joy. Dongfang Pe had become his daughter's servant. This meant Dongfang Pe was considered a member of the Qiu clan. If the strongest clan in Clarity City, the Feng clan, attacked the Qiu clan, Dongfang Pe would not hesitate to help. Soon after, the overjoyed expression on Qiu Enping's face froze. This was because he heard Dongfang Pe's words. Dongfang Liang, the second elder of the Eastern Fang clan, had also sworn on the lightning penalty oath to acknowledge his daughter, Qiu Muqing, as his master. Qiu Enping was excited again. Qiu Enping was not the only one who was excited. Even the grand elder of Qiu clan was excited. In the past, the reason the Qiu clan was afraid of the strongest clan in Clarity City, the Feng clan, was because the Feng clan had 5 Saint Celestial stage powerhouses. The 2 strongest Saint Celestial stage powerhouses were on par with the grand elder of Qiu clan. The other 2 were on par with the second elder of Qiu clan. The Qiu clan had joined forces with the Eastern Fang clan in hopes that the grand elder and second elder of the Eastern Fang clan would help the Qiu clan fend off the Feng clan. The Eastern Fang clan was the same. They hoped the grand elder and second elder of Qiu clan would help them at a critical moment. Chapter 2083. The clan leader of Qiu clan and the grand elder of Qiu clan were excited because of this. Now that the grand elder and second elder of the Eastern Fang clan had become Qiu Muqing's servants, they did not have to worry about the Feng clan coming to look for trouble with them, as long as Qiu Muqing was in the Qiu clan. I'm willing to acknowledge Sister Muqing as my master as well. Me too. At the same time, the 2 elders of the Eastern Fang clan, who were kneeling on the ground, swore on the lightning penalty oath as well. Another 2 waves of thunder resonated in the air, as the 2 elders swore on the lightning penalty oath. In just 15 minutes, 5 waves of thunder resonated in the sky above the Qiu clan's main hall. Each wave was made up of 9 claps of thunder. For a time, the Qiu family's elders and disciples, as well as some servants and maids, were alarmed. What's going on? It's already the 5th wave of thunder. Who dares to swear on the lightning penalty oath 5 times in a row? It seems like the 5 waves of thunder came from the Qiu clan's main hall. It seems like the Eastern Fang clan has come to look for trouble with us. Sister has gone overboard this time. The clan leader and the others must have sworn on the lightning penalty oath to promise the Eastern Fang clan something. I think so too. When has the Qiu clan ever been so humiliated? I hate it. In the Qiu clan mansion, whether it was the Qiu clan's elders, disciples, maids, or servants, they all thought that the 5 thunderclaps were in response to the lightning penalty oath that the Qiu clan's clan leader and other higher-ups had sworn. Under the threat of the Eastern Fang clan's high-ranking officials, the Qiu clan's high-ranking officials had sworn on the lightning penalty oath 5 times. If news of this spread out, how would they be able to face anyone when they went out? For this reason, the Qiu clan's members felt extremely humiliated. Fortunately, the clan leader of Qiu clan, Qiu Enping, and the other high-ranking officials were unaware of their thoughts. In the Qiu clan's main hall, Duan Lingtian looked at Qiu Muqing and said with a smile, "Sister Qiu, let's go back." Qiu Muqing was stunned for a moment before she nodded. However, after noticing the ambiguous gazes of everyone present, her beautiful cheeks flushed red again. In the end, she shyly followed Duan Lingtian out of the Qiu family's main hall. After Qiu Muqing left with Duan Lingtian, everyone in the Qiu clan heaved a sigh of relief. In front of Duan Lingtian, They could feel an invisible pressure that made it hard for them to breathe. Now that Duan Lingtian was gone, the pressure was naturally gone. Congratulations, Patriarch. At the same time, both the Grand Elder and the Second Elder of Qiu clan, Qiu Ji, congratulated Qiu and Ping. First Elder, Second Elder, what's the good news? Seeing the two elders of the Qiu family congratulate him, Qiu and Ping couldn't help but be startled. Patriarch, anyone with a discerning eye can see that the relationship between Sister Mu Qing and Lord Li Feng is not ordinary. I'm afraid that it won't be long before the two of them become a couple. Qiu Ji smiled. However, when he mentioned Lord Li Feng, the fear that came from the bottom of his heart and soul appeared in his eyes. As soon as Qiu Ji finished speaking, the Grand Elder of Qiu clan nodded as well. Patriarch Qiu, congratulations. At the same time, the Grand Elder of the Eastern Fang family, Dongfang Pe, the Second Elder of the Eastern Fang family, Dongfang Liang, and the other two elders of the Eastern Fang family congratulated Qiu and Ping as well. There was a hint of envy in the depths of the four people's gazes. They envied Qiu and Ping for having a daughter who could become a couple with Lord Li Feng. Everyone, isn't it a little too early to celebrate? At this moment, Qiu and Ping finally regained his senses. He could not help but smile wryly. He was not as optimistic as he thought. After witnessing the strength of the sexless cultivator who called himself Li Feng, he knew Duan Lingtian was not an ordinary person. Would his daughter be able to tie down such a person? Perhaps, even if Li Feng was really close to his daughter, he was just putting on an act. Patriarch Qiu, the fact that Lord Li Feng is willing to do this for Sister Qiu shows how much he values Sister Qiu. You'll be a grandfather soon, Dongfang Pe said with a smile. The others nodded in agreement as well. Soon after, Dongfang Pe changed the topic. He looked at Qiu and Ping and said, Patriarch Qiu, from now on, Dongfang Liang and I are Sister Mu Qing's servants. I've already discussed this with Dongfang Liang. From now on, as long as Sister Mu Qing is in the Qiu clan, and as long as we're in the Eastern Fang family, the Eastern Fang family will be the Qiu clan's subsidiary. After we return to the clan, we'll support an obedient person to become the new patriarch of the Qiu clan. From now on, both of our clans don't have to fear the Feng clan anymore. Qiu and Ping's eyes lit up when he heard Dongfang Pe's words. Even the Grand Elder of Qiu clan was overjoyed. However, the Feng clan, the most powerful clan in Clarity City, did not expect this at all. On this day, the structure of Kongming City underwent a great change. In just a day, the Qiu clan had become a clan that could contend with the Feng clan, because the Dongfang family had become a subsidiary of the Qiu family. Of course, even in the future, no one would know that the Eastern Fang family had become a subsidiary of the Qiu family. They will only know, not only did the Eastern Fang family not fall out with the Qiu family, but their relationship with the Qiu family was getting better and better. They even formed an impregnable alliance, which made the Feng family fearful. For many years to come, the Feng family would not dare to think of annexing either of the two clans again. Of course, these were all matters for the future. The Qiu clan's main hall was quite a distance away from Qiu Mu Qing's residence. However, when Qiu Mu Qing followed Duan Lingtian back to the main hall, she felt the journey was too short. It felt like only a moment had passed. She did not even have the time to speak to Duan Lingtian before she returned to her residence. Naturally, she did not speak to Duan Lingtian, because Duan Lingtian did not take the initiative to speak, and she could not muster up the courage to do so. The reason such a situation had occurred was because she had guessed and confirmed Duan Lingtian's identity. Duan Lingtian was one of the 8 great prodigies of the Zoroastrianism. She had to look up to him. In front of Duan Lingtian, she was just an insignificant woman. Why didn't you speak during the journey? After Duan Lingtian returned to Qiu Mu Qing's independent mansion, he walked to the pavilion in the front courtyard and sat in front of a stone table. He looked at Qiu Mu Qing, who followed him in, and asked with a smile on his face. After Qiu Mu Qing entered the pavilion, she stood on the other side of the stone table and did not sit down. However, a complicated expression could be seen in her beautiful eyes as she looked at Duan Lingtian. Sister Chiu Yu. Duan Lingtian was slightly puzzled when he saw Chiu Muqing's expression. Could it be that Chiu Muqing was so frightened by the strength he had displayed earlier that she no longer dared to interact with him like before? The moment Duan Lingtian thought of this, although he was slightly puzzled, he knew it was understandable. However, the smile on Duan Lingtian's face froze when he heard Chiu Muqing's words. You're Duan Lingtian, the prodigy of the Zoroastrianism, right? Chiu Muqing's question shocked Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian was shocked. How did you know? Duan Lingtian took a deep breath to calm himself down. He did not deny it. He looked at Chiu Muqing in shock. Your strength in your name. Moreover, you didn't allow me to reveal your real name. Upon hearing Chiu Muqing's words, Duan Lingtian finally recalled something. Currently, he was no longer invisible when he had just entered the upper province of the Dao Martial Saint Land. Currently, not only had he made a name for himself in the Zoroastrianism, but he had also made a name for himself in the upper province of the Dao Martial Saint Land. He was one of the 1,000 powerhouses on the Supreme Saint ranking. It seems like I'm right. Duan Lingtian's reaction told Chiu Muqing that she had guessed correctly. At the same time, Duan Lingtian gestured for Chiu Muqing to sit down. After she sat down, she immediately thanked Duan Lingtian gratefully. Brother Lingtian, thank you. Naturally, she was thanking Duan Lingtian for helping her and the Chiu clan out of their predicament. It's nothing to me. You don't have to thank me for this since we're friends. Duan Lingtian shook his head. Perhaps it's nothing to you, Brother Lingtian, but it's something very important to me and the Chiu clan. Chiu Muqing said solemnly. It doesn't matter. Since you've thanked me, there's no need to mention it anymore. Duan Lingtian shook his head again before he changed the topic. Sister Chiu Ai. Before Duan Lingtian could finish his sentence, Chiu Muqing interrupted him. Brother Lingtian, you can just call me Muqing. Sister Chiu doesn't sound like a friend at all. In the end, Chiu Muqing's beautiful face flushed red again. She looked as shy as a young girl. Then, I'll call you Muqing. Duan Lingtian readily agreed. Brother Lingtian, what were you thinking about earlier? Chiu Muqing asked apologetically. She was, naturally, apologetic because she had interrupted Duan Lingtian before he could finish his sentence. It was very rude of her to do so. It's nothing much. Duan Lingtian shook his head before he asked. I just wanted to ask you if you know where there are many villains in the upper province of the Dao Martial Saint Land? For example, where is a large group of evil men gathered? This was the reason Duan Lingtian had come to Clarity City. He wanted to find a place where villains gathered so he could devour their innate spiritual roots to strengthen his own innate spiritual root. Chapter 2084. From the beginning until the end, Duan Lingtian had never forgotten the reason he left Zoroastrianism. He could devour other people's innate spiritual roots and improve his own innate spiritual root so that he would possess a stronger innate talent and improve his strength in a short time. Only by improving his strength would he be able to save Kerr and their daughter from Zoroastrianism. Today, apart from the innate spiritual root of Dongfang Zhu, the second young master of the Eastern Fang family, who was killed by Dongfang Pe, the grand elder of the Fang family, Duan Lingtian had already devoured the innate spiritual root of Dongfang Zhu. However, he did not devour the innate spiritual roots of Chiu Gang-yi, the second master of Chiu clan, and Dongfang Qian, the clan leader of the Eastern Fang family. Naturally, there must be a reason for this. When he was in the Chiu clan's main hall, he had killed Chiu Gang-yi and Dongfang Qian to intimidate everyone. At that time, his actions were clean and efficient. His image was lofty and cold. At that time, if he were to devour their innate spiritual roots like how he devoured Dongfang Zhu's innate spiritual root in the restaurant today, it would undoubtedly affect his domineering aura. He would not be able to achieve his desired effect. If that happened, his lofty and cold image would have been damaged. Apart from that, Chiu Gang-yi and Dongfang Qian's innate spiritual roots were also useless. Even if he had devoured their innate spiritual roots, they would not be of much help to him. Their innate spiritual roots were green at most. In fact, Xiao Gangyi's innate spiritual root might only be yellow. Even if he had devoured their innate spiritual roots, his dark blue innate spiritual root would not have any obvious improvement. For this reason, Duan Lingtian did not devour their innate spiritual roots after weighing the pros and cons naturally. This was because he had other concerns. Otherwise, Duan Lingtian would have devoured their innate spiritual roots. After all, a mosquito was still meat. A place where villains gather? Xiao Muqing was stunned when she heard Duan Lingtian's words. Immediately after, her pair of beautiful autumn eyes involuntarily revealed some fear, as if she had suddenly thought of something. What? Do you know where I can find it? Duan Lingtian, who had been looking at Xiao Muqing since the beginning, had noticed the change in Xiao Muqing's eyes. He could not help but ask anxiously. After all, he was eager to find a place where villains gathered so he could devour their innate spiritual roots without any restraint. As long as the person was weaker than him, he would be able to devour their innate spiritual root. Of course, he had his own principles and would not casually devour other people's innate spiritual roots. I don't know if that place can be considered as a place where villains gather. However, according to what I know, the people in that place are extremely terrifying. It's normal for them to injure and kill others because of a disagreement. Xiao Muqing's beautiful face stiffened slightly when she heard Duan Lingtian's question. She only replied after a while. Xiao Muqing's voice was filled with dread when she mentioned that place. Is it normal to hurt and kill people because of a disagreement? Duan Lingtian narrowed his eyes when he heard Xiao Muqing's words. He asked, "What kind of place is that?" That place is located in the central region. It's adjacent to one of the three great sects, the Zhuangzi Buddhism. Naturally, that place has nothing to do with Zhuangzi Buddhism. Even Zhuangzi Buddhism's disciples might be killed if they enter that place without the accompaniment of a senior. Moreover, the Zhuangzi Buddhism can't even find out who killed them. Xiao Muqing continued to speak. The fear in her eyes grew even more intense. Zhuangzi Buddhism. However, when Duan Lingtian heard Xiao Muqing's words, he changed his opinion of her. There must be sectless cultivators who are on par with the sect leaders of the three great sects in Sin City. Otherwise, how could Sin City be located so close to the Zhuangzi Buddhism's estate? All these years, the Zhuangzi Buddhism hasn't done anything to Sin City at all. Xiao Muqing paused for a moment when she reached this point. She wanted to give Duan Lingtian some time to digest her words. Sin City, a city founded by a sectless cultivator at the 9th form of the Saint Celestial stage? It has existed since the upper province of the Tao Martial Saint Land. Moreover, Sin City is located so close to the Zhuangzi Buddhism's estate. Even the Zhuangzi Buddhism has never done anything to Sin City. If that's the case, there must be powerhouses on par with the sect leaders of the three great sects in Sin City. Otherwise, with the Zhuangzi Buddhism's strength, how could they allow others to sleep beside them? Soon after, Duan Lingtian digested Xiao Muqing's words. "Muqing, please continue." Duan Lingtian reminded her after he finished digesting Xiao Muqing's words. Xiao Muqing nodded before she continued to say, "I'm sure Brother Lingtian can guess from my words that there are many sectless cultivators in Sin City. As for these rogue cultivators, they don't belong to any forces. Since they've gathered in Sin City, they naturally have all sorts of evil characters. It's because of their existence that the city of Sin is in chaos. That's how the name Sin City came about. A long time ago, Sin City didn't have this name. Due to the large number of sectless cultivators in Sin City, all sorts of conflicts are unavoidable. It's very common to injure and kill people. Moreover, in Sin City, those who aren't at the Saint Celestial stage or above don't dare to go out at night. Even if they want to go out, they have to be accompanied by a powerhouse at the Saint Celestial stage or above. This is all I know about Sin City," Xiao Muqing said as she looked at Duan Lingtian. After Xiao Muqing finished speaking, she looked at Duan Lingtian and said, "Although I don't know why you're looking for a place where villains gather, I'm sure Sin City is the place with the most villains in the upper province of the Tao Martial Saint Land. Listen, there are many people who eat the flesh, bones, and blood of their own kind in that place." Qiu Muqing's face turned slightly pale when she heard Duan Lingtian's words. It was apparent she was shocked by the actions of these people. Humans ate the flesh, bones, and blood of their own kind. Normal people would not be able to accept this. Naturally, Duan Lingtian could not accept this as well. His expression turned grave when he heard Qiu Muqing's words. He knew this was the place where Sin City was located. Sin City was the place he was looking for after he left Zoroastrianism. I've decided. I'll go to Sin City. Soon after, Duan Lingtian made up his mind. He would go to Sin City to pick villains and devour their innate spiritual roots. If it was the same as Qiu Muqing, there was no lack of villains in Sin City. Muqing, have you been to Sin City before? Duan Lingtian asked Qiu Muqing after he took a deep breath and regained his senses. No. Qiu Muqing shook her head when she heard Duan Lingtian's question. She did not want to go to that place at all. No. Then why do I feel like you know Sin City so well? Duan Lingtian asked in surprise. One of the women was constantly picking up grapes from the stone table, peeling them one by one, and putting them into his mouth. The other woman was massaging his feet. Every movement was extremely gentle and just right. However, the middle-aged man was not looking at the two women. Instead, he was looking at the empty space in front of the pavilion. In the open space, there were 9 dancers swaying their graceful bodies. Their every movement was so professional that even people who didn't know how to dance would only feel a burst of joy when they saw their dance. Alliance leader Wang really knows how to enjoy life. Compared to Sin City, this place is much more comfortable, right? A voice suddenly rang in the air. The middle-aged man in the pavilion was taken aback. His expression changed immediately as he stood up. As for the two women beside him, they were also frightened to the point that their faces turned pale. Who's there? The middle-aged man shouted as he looked around. The 9 dancers were so frightened that they stopped what they were doing. Whoosh! At the same time, a purple-clad young man landed in front of the pavilion, as though a gust of wind had blown past. It was none other than Duan Lingtian, who had just left the Qiu clan's estate. Since Duan Lingtian was here, it was only natural that the middle-aged man's identity was revealed. He was none other than the leader of the Sectless Cultivators Alliance in Clarity City, Wang Yifo. Who are you? Why are you disturbing my dance? Looking at Duan Lingtian, Wang Yifo's expression darkened as he spoke in a low voice. Whoosh! As soon as Wang Yifo questioned Duan Lingtian, the Sun Saint energy in Duan Lingtian's body surged out and formed a whirlpool in just a blink of an eye. Devouring skill. Soon after, the heaven and earth spirit energy in the surroundings was completely absorbed by Duan Lingtian. His Sun Saint energy had also risen to its peak. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. It was so fast that Wang Yifo could not react in time. When Wang Yifo came to his senses, he was naturally vigilant. At the same time, he raised his hand, and a broad saber appeared in his hand. As the saint energy in Wang Yifo's body surged out and merged with the saber began to emit a sharp aura. One could tell it was 100 inscriptions saint weapon from the aura emitted by the saber. 100 inscriptions saint weapon. Not bad. At the same time, Duan Lingtian took a step forward. His expression was as calm as ever as he spoke. Just as Duan Lingtian's foot landed on the ground, a voice rang out. All of a sudden whoosh! A fleeting sound of a sword whistling rang in Wang Yifo's ears. It was so sudden that Wang Yifo's heart skipped a beat. When he realized that he could not see the sword that had caused the whistling sound, his eyes narrowed, and a horrified expression appeared on his face. Crack! As soon as Wang Yifo's pupils shrunk, he heard a clear voice in his ears. The sound that came from behind sounded like tofu being cut. Chapter 2086. At this moment, Wang Yifo was shocked. The 100 inscription saint saber in his hand, the 100 inscription saint saber, that had been infused with saint origin, had been broken into 2. The cut was smooth and clean, as if it had been cut in 2 by some kind of sharp weapon. Wang Yifo felt his scalp tingle when he recalled the short-lived sword whistling sound. At the same time, Wang Yifo's eyes were filled with fear when he looked at the purple-clothed young man, standing not too far away. Ah! Ah! Almost at the same time when the 100 inscription saint saber in Wang Yifo's hand was broken into 2 pieces, the 2 women beside Wang Yifo, as well as the dancers, were so frightened that they screamed. Their beautiful faces turned pale, and they looked very pitiful. All of you can leave now. I have something to say to Alliance leader Wang. At the same time, Duan Lingtian spoke. When his words fell into the ears of the 2 women, and the dancers next to Wang Yifo, the fear in their eyes disappeared. However, although they had obtained Duan Lingtian's permission, they still did not dare to leave. Their pitiful eyes fell on Wang Yifo, as though they had discussed this beforehand. Obviously, they were waiting for Wang Yifo's permission as a distinguished guest. Wang Yifo was so angry that he almost vomited blood when he sensed their gazes. Could these women not see that the purple-clad young man in front of them was more powerful than him? It was fine if they did not listen to the order given by such a person, but now they were looking at him and asking for his permission. Was this not harming him? Sir asked you to leave. Why aren't you leaving? Instantly, Wang Yifo was enraged as well. He roared, scaring the group of women away. At this moment, only Duan Lingtian and Wang Yifo were left in the huge courtyard. Sir, please have a seat. When Wang Yifo looked at Duan Lingtian, the anger on his face disappeared and was replaced by a flattering expression. He immediately asked Duan Lingtian to sit at the stone table in the pavilion. Duan Lingtian didn't stand on ceremony and walked into the pavilion in 2 or 3 steps. Just now, when Wang Yifo saw him for the first time, he was not at all polite, so he was not surprised. That was why he had immediately displayed his strength to intimidate Wang Yifo. With the help of the Sun Saint energy that had been enhanced by the divine power, the devouring technique, and the Jasper celestial sword, he was able to break Wang Yifo's 100 inscription saint saber that was infused with saint energy into half with just 1 slash. Before the Jasper celestial sword, the 100 inscription saint saber was as weak as tofu. This could be seen from the scene just now. The Jasper celestial sword had cut through the 100 inscription saint saber as easily as cutting tofu. Under Wang Yifo's uneasy gaze, Duan Lingtian walked into the pavilion and sat down at the stone table. Then, Duan Lingtian plucked a grape from a bunch of grapes on the stone table and stuffed it into his mouth. After chewing a few times, he spat out the grape skin. This grape is not bad. It tastes pretty good. Sir, if you like it, I'll ask them to prepare more later. Hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Wang Yifo said with a flattering expression. Compared to the arrogant Wang Yifo from before, this flattering Wang Yifo seemed to be a completely different person. The reason why Wang Yifo changed so much was naturally because he had seen Duan Lingtian's strength. At first, he didn't know that Duan Lingtian was stronger than him. Now, he realized that Duan Lingtian was not only stronger than him, but he was so strong that he could kill him in the blink of an eye. Nothing else. Just like the sword just now. If it had not landed on the 100 inscription saint saber in his hand but on his head would have been cut open like a watermelon. Until now, Wang Yifo could not help but shudder when he recalled the sword just now. Sit. Duan Lingtian looked at Wang Yifo and gestured for him to sit. However, after witnessing Duan Lingtian's terrifying strength, how could Wang Yifo have the courage to sit in front of Duan Lingtian? He quickly said politely, Sir, I'm a wretched person, I like to stand. I'm used to it. Since Wang Yifo was unwilling to sit, Duan Lingtian naturally would not force him. He went straight to the point and said, I'm here to ask you something. Sir, please ask away. As long as Wang Yifo, know I won't hide it. After hearing the purpose of Duan Lingtian's visit, Wang Yifo could not help but heave a sigh of relief. Just now, he was worried that Duan Lingtian was deliberately looking for trouble with him. With Duan Lingtian's strength, it would only take him a blink of an eye to kill him. I heard that you spent some time in Sin City, Duan Lingtian asked. Yes. Although Wang Yifo was curious why Duan Lingtian would ask this, he still answered truthfully. This was not a secret to many people in Clarity City. Sometimes, He would even use this matter as his capital to brag about himself. After all, not everyone had the guts to go to Sin City. Even a Saint Celestial stage powerhouse would have to be careful in Sin City. Otherwise, if he accidentally offended someone he should not offend, he would be doomed eternally. Tell me about the city of Sin, Duan Lingtian said. Sir, could it be that you want to go to Sin City? Wang Yifo asked in surprise. His eyes shone brightly. He could tell the purple-clad young man did not ask him this because he was bored. He must have wanted to go to Sin City. Didn't you hear what I said? However, Duan Lingtian ignored Wang Yifo's question. Instead, he asked coldly with a grave expression on his face. Wang Yifo shuddered when he saw Duan Lingtian's sudden change in attitude. He no longer dared to ask any questions and hastily said, I'll tell you about Sin City. Then, Wang Yifo began to explain Sin City to Duan Lingtian. From the origin of Sin City to the current situation of Sin City, Wang Yifo had stayed in Sin City for some time after all. His understanding of Sin City was not something that Qiu Muqing, who was just a passerby, could compare to. As time passed, Duan Lingtian learned a lot of useful information from Wang Yifo. Alliance leader Wang, why did you leave the city of Sin and come to Clarity City? Don't tell me it's just for fun? After Wang Yifo told Duan Lingtian everything he knew about Sin City, Duan Lingtian asked Wang Yifo about it. Wang Yifo did not mention anything about himself when he told Duan Lingtian about Sin City. With Wang Yifo's strength, at the peak of the first form of the Saint Celestial stage, he was only an ordinary martial cultivator in Sin City. He was not as carefree in Sin City as he was in Clarity City. As the saying went, one would rather be the head of a lion than the tail of a phoenix. The current Wang Yifo was similar to this. Naturally, Duan Lingtian knew very well. Since the city of Sin was able to attract so many independent cultivators to gather there, it must have had its own charm. Otherwise, who would not want to be the king of a mountain? And Wang Yifo definitely didn't leave just to enjoy life in the city. Of course not. Wang Yifo sighed when he heard Duan Lingtian's question. He said reluctantly, It's because I offended someone in Sin City. That person has a powerful background, so I had no choice but to leave Sin City. Although the entertainment in Clarity City is great, it can't help me improve my cultivation base. According to what you said, the cultivation environment in the city of Sin is very good. Duan Lingtian could not help but feel curious when he heard Wang Yifo's words. It's not just the cultivation environment. Wang Yifo shook his head. After a flash of light passed through his eyes, he said, There are many benefits in Sin City that I don't know how to explain. Sir, if you really intend to go to Sin City, you'll know when you get there. Although Duan Lingtian felt Wang Yifo was keeping him in suspense, he did not continue to ask. After all, he was about to depart to Sin City. Thank you, Alliance leader Wang. After obtaining the information he wanted from Wang Yifo, Duan Lingtian stood up and was ready to leave. Before he left, he did not forget to thank Wang Yifo. You're too kind, Lord. Wang Yifo was flattered by Duan Lingtian's gratitude. Then, under Wang Yifo's respectful gaze, Duan Lingtian left, leaving Wang Yifo with a suave silhouette. Who is he? Wang Yifo only regained his senses when Duan Lingtian's silhouette disappeared. However, deep in his eyes, there was a hint of confusion. He had been in Clarity City for many years, but it was his first time seeing such a powerhouse in Clarity City. After all, Clarity City was only an inconspicuous city at the edge of the western region. Even if there were powerhouses who passed by this area, they would rarely stay here. After leaving the Emerald Cloud Pavilion, Duan Lingtian did not stop and left Clarity City immediately. After leaving Clarity City, Duan Lingtian turned to look at Clarity City again. His eyes flashed, but no one knew what he was thinking. Golden Crow's wings. After a while, a pair of flaming wings appeared on his back. He had cast the high-grade movement divine ability, the Golden Crow's wings. Without warning, the Golden Crow's wings flapped. In the next moment, boom, 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 Chapter 2087. The Upper Province of the Dao Martial Saint Land, was divided into a few regions: the North Region, South Region, West Region, East Region, and Central Region. The North Region was covered in snow all year round. Due to the lack of saint stones, the cultivation environment there was extremely bad. It was a remote place where even birds would not shit. Therefore, there were not many powerful forces stationed there. Currently, the 7 Absolute Sect's temporary base was located in the North Region. The South Region was also known as the Wildlands. Based on the name alone, one could guess that the people there were tough. The Heaven Divination Sect, one of the 3 great sects in the Tao Martial Saint Land, was located in the South Region. The Heaven Divination Sect was also the religion of most people in the South Region, just like how Zoroastrianism was the religion of most people in the West Region. However, there was no need to mention the West Region. The Eastern Region was also a place that lacked holy stone mineral resources, but it was much better than the Northern Region. There were many first-rate powers stationed in that area, and the Dragon Clan was also in that area. The Central Region was the most prosperous place in the upper province of the Tao Martial Saint Land. It was rich in saint stones. In the Central Region, apart from the Zhuangzi Buddhism, one of the 3 great sects, there was also an ancient city called Sin City. Even the Black Kshetra sect had to be wary of the existence of Sin City. Sin City was not a force. It was just a place where sectless cultivators gathered. However, if any forces were to make a move on Sin City, the sectless cultivators in Sin City would band together to fend off the enemy. Sin City. What's so attractive about it that so many sectless cultivators in the upper province of the Tao Martial Saint Land are flocking to it? While Duan Ling Tian was making his way to Sin City in the Central Region, his heart was filled with curiosity about the city. Just what kind of city was it? It actually attracted so many rogue cultivators to gather there. Along the way, Duan Ling Tian flew past many towering mountains and lofty ridges, many vast lakes, plains and deserts before he finally entered the Central Region of the upper province of the Tao Martial Saint Land. The city of Sin is located at the center of the Central Region. This was what Duan Ling Tian had learned from Chiu Mu Qing, the eldest daughter of the Chiu clan in Clarity City. For this reason, after he entered the Central Region, he quickly decided on a direction and traveled at full speed. Duan Ling Tian entered the Central Region of the upper province of the Tao Martial Saint Land and made his way to Sin City, Debussy Subterranean, Azure Cloud Mansion. Whoosh! A swift figure streaked across the sky and entered the Crouching Dragon Lake in the outer area of the Azure Cloud Mansion. Boom! 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 When the newcomer entered the Crouching Dragon Lake, the calm surface of the Crouching Dragon Lake shook. Then 10 figures shot out and surrounded the newcomer. Who are you? How dare you trespass into the Azure Cloud Mansion? The 10 people who flew out of the Crouching Dragon Lake were clad in black armor and looked majestic. The person who was surrounded by them was a woman who was dressed in a tight-fitting outfit. Apart from her beautiful figure, she also had a beautiful face. It was as though the Creator had given her the best. She had the face of an angel and the body of a devil. These words were enough to describe this woman's perfection. Azure Cloud Mansion's black armored army? The woman muttered to herself as she faced the 10 people who surrounded her. Then, she did not beat around the bush as she said, I'm a friend of Duan Ling Tian, the young mansion master of your Azure Cloud Mansion. My name is Wang Fei Xian, and I'm from the Mystical Sky Mansion. Based on her words, she was none other than Wang Fei Xian, whom Duan Ling Tian had met in the Mystical Sky Mansion. She was also one of Duan Ling Tian's few friends in the Mystical Sky Mansion. A friend of the young mansion master? Upon hearing Wang Fei Xian's words, the fierce gazes of the 10 black armored guards softened a little. At the same time, one of them immediately went to the Azure Cloud Mansion's main mansion to report this matter. Wang Fei Xian? In the Azure Cloud Mansion's main mansion, Duan Ruffing, the mansion master, quickly learned about the woman who claimed to be his son's friend. However, he was unfamiliar with the name Wang Fei Xian. He had not even heard of it before. Naturally, it was impossible for him to know all of his son's friends. Fei did you hear Tiana mention a woman called Wang Fei Xian? Soon after, Duan Ruffing found his daughter-in-law Li Fei. Li Fei was accompanying his wife, Li Ro, with her and Duan Lingtian's son Li Fei. Wang Feixian? She seems to be Scoundrel's friend in the mystical sky mansion. Li Fei was startled at first, but then she came back to her senses. However, after a while, a complicated expression appeared in the depths of her beautiful autumn eyes. She had heard her man mention Wang Feixian before. Although her man did not say much, with her sharp woman's intuition, she could tell this mystical sky mansion's disciple called Wang Feixian might have fallen in love with her man. She's really Tianer's friend? Since you know her, come with me to greet her. Duan Ruffing said. Grandfather, I want to go as well. At this moment, Duan Ruffing, who was standing nearby, also ran over. He blinked his big, innocent eyes as he said to Duan Ruffing, Grandma will go as well. Then, Duan Yin Tian looked at Li Ro and held her hand as he said with a pout on his face. Okay, Grandma will go as well. Li Ro patted her grandson's head affectionately and agreed immediately. Listen to Yin Tian. Let's go together. Duan Ruffing agreed as he looked at Duan Yin Tian affectionately. Following that, Duan Ruffing raised his hand, and an invisible force shrouded Li Ro, Li Fei, and Duan Yin Tian, before it brought them away from the main mansion of Azure Cloud Mansion. After a while, Duan Ruffing brought them to a stop. They were already at the side of the Crouching Dragon Lake. Lord Mansion Master. Madam. Young Madam. When Duan Ruffing brought Li Ro and Li Fei to the 9 black armored guards, the 9 black armored guards quickly bowed at Duan Ruffing, Li Ro, and Li Fei. Since Li Ro was the wife of their mansion master, they addressed her as Madam. As for Li Fei, since she was the wife of their young mansion master, they addressed her as Young Madam. Mansion Master? Madam? Young Madam? Upon hearing the 9 black armored guards' greetings, Wang Feixian shifted her gaze to Duan Ruffing and the others before she quickly bowed at Duan Ruffing and Li Ro, who were standing side by side. Junior Wang Feixian greets Mansion Master Duan and Madam. When Wang Feixian bowed at Duan Ruffing and his wife, she could not help but look at Li Fei, who was standing next to Li Ro from the corner of her eyes. At this moment, Li Fei was holding her son's hand. Duan Yin Tian was looking at Wang Feixian with his big watery eyes. It was as though he was curious about this auntie whom he had never met before. Miss Feixian, there's no need to be so courteous. Duan Ruffing smiled faintly. Listen to my daughter-in-law. You're my son's friend in the mystical sky mansion. This is not the place to talk. Why don't you follow us to the main mansion of the Azure Cloud Mansion? In the end, Duan Ruffing even asked for Wang Feixian's opinion out of courtesy. All right. Wang Feixian was a valiant woman, so she agreed immediately. When Wang Feixian agreed, Duan Ruffing raised his hand again and brought the few of them with him as they disappeared from the side of the Crouching Dragon Lake. However, this time, Wang Feixian was among the people he brought away. When Duan Ruffing and the others appeared again, they were already in the main hall of the Azure Cloud Mansion's main mansion. The majestic main hall took Wang Feixian a while to regain her senses. After Wang Feixian regained her senses, Duan Ruffing introduced the 3 people next to him. His wife, his son. Although Wang Feixian was mentally prepared, she could not help but feel a sense of loss when Duan Ruffing introduced Li Fei and her son. However, it was not obvious on her face. She even took the initiative to greet Li Fei politely. Li Fei naturally returned the greeting as well. She did not neglect Wang Feixian at all. To her, her man's friend was her friend as well. It seems like this girl's heart is also with Tian is really too much. He still hasn't settled Bai Yao and Lan at home. But why is he fooling around outside, and even attracted such a good girl? Li Ro was a woman. Naturally, she could sense Wang Feixian's emotions fluctuating when she heard Li Fei was her son's wife. As a woman, she was certain. This woman called Wang Feixian also had her heart set on her son. Due to this reason, she sighed inwardly. If it was in the past, Li Ro would have been eager to have as many daughters-in-law as possible. Otherwise, she would not have brought Xiaolan and Princess Bai Yao out of the mortal continent. But now, she didn't think so anymore. She even regretted bringing Xiaolan and Princess Bai Yao out of the mortal continent because she felt she had let them down. Based on the current situation, It was still a question whether her son would accept them in the future. Currently, the matter between Xiaolan and Princess Baiyao had yet to be resolved, and now, Wang Feixian was here as well. She was puzzled. Sister Fei Lian, if you're here to look for my son, Duan Lingtian, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. He's no longer in the lower province of the Dao Martial Saint Land, Duan Ruffing said to Wang Feixian. I know that. Wang Feixian nodded and continued to say, I'm not here to look for him. I'm here to inform you, Mansion Master Duan. When Wang Feixian reached this part of the sentence, she paused for a moment. Fear rose in her eyes as though she had just recalled something terrifying. Leak information? Duan Ruffing was stunned. The mystical sky mansion is gone. My home, the fourth-rate force, the tyrannical saber mansion, is gone as well. Wang Feixian's tone instantly turned gloomy. Subsequently, the fear in her eyes grew even more intense. Monster. A monster with an ox head and a human body. Chapter 2088. The mansion master of Mystical Sky Mansion was killed in just one move. Hearing Wang Feixian's words, Li Ro and Li Fei couldn't help but be shocked. Especially Li Ro. As the wife of Duan Ruffing, the mansion master of Azure Cloud Mansion, she often spent time with Duan Ruffing. Naturally, she had learned a lot about the Debussy Subterranean from Duan Ruffing. This also included an in-depth understanding of the major forces in the Debussy Subterranean. As far as she knew, although the mansion master of Mystical Sky Mansion was not as strong as her husband, even her husband would not dare to kill the mansion master of Mystical Sky Mansion in just one blow before he had broken through to the quintessential saint stage. But now Wang Feixian. There was a monster who killed the mansion master of Mystical Sky Mansion in just one blow. If it's true, just how powerful was that monster? Due to Duan Yintian's age, he did not know what Wang Feixian was talking about. As for Duan Ruffing, he was not surprised by Wang Feixian's words. Instead, his face darkened as he muttered, It seems like more than one bull demon has come to the Debussy Subterranean. What Duan Ruffing was worried about still happened. Previously, when the bull devil had barged into the Azure Cloud Mansion, although he had killed it, he did not feel relieved at all. Instead, he felt extremely gloomy. After all, the bull devil's appearance in the Dao Martial Saint Land was a bad sign. After all, the ox demon was a creature that only existed in the land of exile. Now that it had appeared in the Dao Martial Saint Land, there was no doubt that there was something wrong with the space barrier between the Dao Martial Saint Land and the land of exile. If there was a problem with the space barrier, it might have been discovered by one ox devil, and that ox devil might have come to the Dao Martial Saint Land. However, it could also be discovered by many ox devils, and that was why many ox devils came to the Dao Martial Saint Land. It was even more likely that they would be discovered by the devil clans in the land of exile. The ox devil from the ox devil clan was only the vanguard of the devil clans in the Dao Martial Saint Land. If it was the latter, there was no doubt the Dao Martial Saint Land would fall back into the human devil era, and the people would be plunged into misery and suffering. Ox demon? Although Duan Ruffing's voice wasn't loud, it was still heard by Li Ro and the others. They immediately looked at Duan Ruffing. This was the first time in their lives that they had heard the term bull demon. Grandpa, what is an ox demon? Duan Yintian asked as he blinked his eyes innocently when he heard Duan Ruffing's mutterings. Fair, take Yintian and leave first. There are some things that I want you to know. However, I will tell Ro about that matter first. She will tell you later. At this moment, Duan Ruffing sent a voice transmission to Li Fei, asking Li Fei to bring Duan Yintian away. Unknowingly, it also revealed a message. It was not convenient for Duan Yintian to know what he was going to do next. Although Li Fei did not know what was going on, she could hear the seriousness in Duan Ruffing's voice. Since she was curious, she did not ask any questions. After some persuasion, she finally convinced Duan Yintian to leave. At this moment, only Duan Ruffing, Li Ro, and Wang Feixian were left in the spacious main hall. Brother Feng, did you ask Fei to bring Yintian away? Li Ro asked. As Duan Ruffing's wife, and Li Fei's unusual behavior earlier, It was not difficult for her to figure out what was going on. It seemed like it was not suitable for her grandson to hear what her husband was going to say next. Yes, Duan Ruffing nodded. Then he said solemnly, Nian Tian is still alive. There are some things I don't want him to know so soon. I don't want him to live in fear from now on. The ox demon was related to the demon race in the land of exile, and it was also related to the human devil era many years ago. It was not hard to imagine. If his grandson knew that the human race had such a dark history, his grandson would definitely have a shadow in his heart. It would be detrimental to his grandson's growth, and it would do him no good. Upon hearing Duan Rufing's words, Li Ro knew she had guessed correctly. She could not help but gasp before she asked, Brother Feng, don't scare me. What's the matter? Li Ro knew her husband very well. He was cautious and would not speak without thinking. For this reason, she could not help but feel chills running up her spine when she heard her husband's words. The ox devil is from the land of exile, Duan Ruffing explained. Faced with Li Ro's question and Wang Feixian's curious gaze, Duan Ruffing finally told them about the ox devil's origin. He also mentioned the human devil era that happened hundreds of thousands of years ago. At this moment, both Li Ro and Wang Feixian were so frightened that their faces turned pale. During the human devil era, humans and devils fought against each other. Countless humans were killed and devoured into dried corpses. Apart from the powerhouses, most of the humans who survived were at death's door. Many of them were demonized and became devil cultivators. All in all, during that era, there was chaos everywhere. Nobody could live a peaceful life, not even the people on the mortal continent. The devil clans? The land of exile? When Li Ro and Wang Feixian learned about the existence of the land of exile and the strength of the devil clans in the land of exile, both of them were terrified. Miss Feixian, how tall was the ox devil that entered the mystical sky mansion that day? Duan Ruffing suddenly asked as he looked at Wang Feixian. Wang Feixian regained her senses when she heard his question. After she mustered her courage, her pale face regained some color. Then, she fell silent for a moment as she thought about it. I think it was more than 4 meters tall. I think it was less than 5 meters tall. But I'm certain it was more than 4 meters tall. Wang Feixian replied to Duan Ruffing after she recalled everything that had happened. If that's the case, the strength of the ox devil that entered the mystical sky mansion is about the same as the ox devil that entered the azure cloud mansion that day. Duan Rufeng nodded. Although he sounded nonchalant, his expression was tense and did not relax at all. Entered the azure cloud mansion? Li Ro's expression changed when she heard Duan Rufeng's words. A worried expression appeared on her face as she asked anxiously, When? Brother Feng, why didn't you mention this before? It was obvious Li Ro was unaware that the ox devil had entered the azure cloud mansion. I didn't mention it because I didn't want you to worry. Duan Ruffeng sighed before he continued to say, Moreover, I've already killed it. You've already killed it? He was also the previous successor of the prophet progeny, the second absolute of the 7 absolute sect. Chapter 2089. The Phoenix clan's encampment was shrouded by a gigantic hybrid formation. Even if someone passed by, they would not be able to discover the Phoenix clan's encampment. The Phoenix clan's encampment was located in a place surrounded by mountains. It was a real paradise. Not only was this place isolated from the rest of the world, but there were also mountains, rivers, lush flowers, and green trees. It formed a picturesque scenery that gave people a strong sense of belonging. Of course, this was only most of the scenery in the Phoenix clan's encampment. In the west of the Phoenix clan's encampment, the air was filled with an extremely hot aura. The temperature was so high that it would not take long for an ordinary person to be roasted. The deeper one went, the higher the temperature. In the deepest part of the west of the Phoenix clan's encampment, there was a vast altar. On the high platform in the middle of the altar, there was an extremely huge statue sitting there. If Duan Lingtian was here, he would definitely be stunned when he saw this statue. Moreover, a paragraph of words recorded in the ancient book, Classic of Mountains and Seas, that was passed down from ancient times in his previous life on Earth would definitely appear in his mind. There was a bird in the world that looked like a chicken. It was called the Phoenix King. The Phoenix King was the earliest name for the phoenix. It was also the king of birds in Duan Lingtian's previous life on Earth. Generally speaking, the male was called the phoenix while the female was called the phoenix. Collectively, they were called the phoenix. The phoenix was as famous as the divine dragon in his previous life. Just like the divine dragon, they were legendary existences. In Duan Lingtian's previous life's hometown on Earth, ever since the Qin and Han dynasties of ancient times, the dragon had gradually become the symbol of the emperor. The emperors, empresses, and concubines had begun to refer to themselves as phoenixes. The image of the phoenixes had gradually become androgynous. The statue on the high platform in the middle of the altar was a lifelike phoenix. It was completely fiery red. No one knew what material it was made of, but it was constantly emitting waves of hot aura. That old man is here so early? In front of the altar, a beautiful woman sitting cross-legged in the air suddenly opened her eyes. The beautiful woman's eyes were different from the black pupils of ordinary humans. Instead, they were fiery red. With just a glance, it might be enough to make a person feel as though he had fallen into a pit of fire. When the beautiful woman stood up, her voluptuous figure hidden under the loose robe was also exposed. Furthermore, although her face could not be considered to be exceedingly beautiful, it was still beautiful beyond compare. It was very pleasing to the eye. She stood there. Although her clothes were simple and plain, she still gave off a graceful and luxurious feeling. If only I had met that girl earlier. Thinking that she's about to leave, I'm really reluctant to part with her. As the beautiful woman muttered, there was a hint of reluctance in her eyes. It was as if the girl she spoke of was about to leave her. Lord Prophet. Suddenly, a respectful female voice came from outside the altar. Whoosh! Hearing the voice coming from outside, the beautiful woman's figure flashed and disappeared into thin air. When she reappeared, she was already outside the altar in front of a young woman dressed in green. She asked indifferently, "What's the matter?" The green-clad young woman was very respectful when she faced the beautiful woman. Lord Prophet, Senior Prophet is here. He's waiting outside the Phoenix clan's estate. The beautiful woman's head had an I already know look on her face. I already know. Tell him to wait outside. I'll bring him out in a moment. At this moment, the beautiful woman hovered in the air and looked down at the ocean of lava beneath her feet. It was as though there was something in it. Girl. Suddenly, the beautiful woman opened her mouth. She was actually speaking to the sea of magma beneath her feet. Her voice was not loud, but it seemed to have a terrifying penetrating force. It was as though it could penetrate all obstacles and reach the ears of the person she was speaking to. Based on her words, it seemed like there was someone under the boiling lava. Gulp, 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 gulp. Moments after the beautiful woman spoke, the magma that was originally boiling, but still considered calm, began to churn and boil even more violently. In the next moment, boom, accompanied by a loud bang, one of the magma exploded, and a fiery red figure rushed out. From afar, it seemed to have merged with the magma. The person who emerged from the ocean of lava was a woman dressed in a fiery red robe. She exuded a scorching aura and the pressure of a powerhouse. Senior Prophet. After she emerged, she appeared near the beautiful woman and bowed respectfully. Her voice was soft and pleasant to the ears. It seemed to contain endless charm. Her figure was graceful and perfect. It gave people the urge to go up and hug her. The woman dressed in red had beautiful long hair that fell on her shoulders and behind her back like a waterfall. Under the long hair was a beautiful face that could captivate even birds and beasts. Her eyebrows were as beautiful as a painting. Her eyes were as clear as water in autumn. Her nose, red lips, and white teeth formed a perfect outline. She was so beautiful that it took one's breath away. She was like a fairy that had fallen to the mortal world. If Duan Lingtian was here, he would definitely recognize her with just a glance. This woman dressed in red, who looked like a fire elf, was none other than Feng Tianwu. Girl, you've completed your rebirth in our Phoenix clan's place of rebirth. I'm sure you've realized you're leaving soon, right? The beautiful woman sighed softly. Senior Prophet, is Senior Uncle Prophet here? Upon hearing the beautiful woman's words, Feng Tianwu immediately figured it out. The old man who had sent her here had passed by. He would come to take her away after she had completed her rebirth in the Phoenix clan's place of rebirth. Yes, when the beautiful woman saw how smart Feng Tianwu was, the reluctance in her eyes intensified. It was as though she did not want Feng Tianwu to leave. Senior Prophet, if I have time in the future, I'll come back to visit you. Feng Tianwu saw the reluctance in the beautiful woman's eyes, and she immediately consoled her. You won't have the chance. However, when the beautiful woman heard Feng Tianwu's words, a hint of relief flashed in her eyes. She shook her head and said, the reason we allowed you to enter the Phoenix clan was to follow our ancestors' instructions. We wanted to repay the favor we owed to Feng Qingyang, the sect leader of the Seven Absolutes sect. We allowed you to enter the Phoenix clan's place of rebirth because you have a trace of the Phoenix clan's prophet's bloodline in your body. Now that the Phoenix clan has repaid the favor it owed to the Seven Absolute sect, it's impossible for us to let you in. The beautiful woman added, Senior Prophet, didn't you say I have the same bloodline as you? Can't you treat me as a member of the Phoenix clan? Feng Tianwu asked. If you want to be a member of the Phoenix clan, you can't leave the Phoenix clan. The beautiful woman looked at Feng Tianwu and said, however, are you willing to stay in the Phoenix clan until you die of old age, or ascend to the immortal world? Feng Tianwu fell silent. Stay in the Phoenix clan until she died of old age, or ascend to the immortal world. In that case, would she not be able to see the man she was so fond of? Naturally, she could not accept this. Therefore, she shook her head. Chapter 2090. Will I really not be able to see Senior Prophet again? When Feng Tianwu thought about how she would never be able to see the beautiful woman before her, the Phoenix clan's prophet, again, she was filled with reluctance. Although she had not spent much time with the Phoenix clan's prophet, the Phoenix clan's prophet still cared for her like an elder. It made her feel as though she had regained her motherly love. I'm afraid there's no more chance. Unless, the Phoenix clan's prophet paused for a moment. Unless what? Feng Tianwu was curious. Unless, the human devil era is coming again. However, that's almost impossible. At the very least, it's impossible for the human devil era to come again in our era. The Phoenix clan's prophet said decisively. The human devil era? Feng Tianwu was curious about this. The Phoenix clan's prophet was very patient with Feng Tianwu. She patiently explained the human devil era to Feng Tianwu. Feng Tianwu learned that before the Dao Martial Saint Land was divided into two, there was an era in the Dao Martial Saint Land called the Human Devil Era. During that era, a group of devils from the land of exile had invaded the Dao Martial Saint Land. To be more precise, they had invaded the realm where the Dao Martial Saint Land was located. During the Human Devil Era, the ancestors of the Phoenix clan killed countless devils. However, in the end, the Phoenix clan suffered a great loss. Since then, the ancestors of the Phoenix clan set a strict rule to ensure the survival of the Phoenix clan. The clansmen of the Phoenix clan are not allowed to leave the Phoenix clan without permission. Otherwise, not only would they be expelled from the Phoenix clan, but they would also be hunted down by the enforcement elder of the Phoenix clan. The Phoenix clan's prophet continued to say, for this reason, the only person who can leave the Phoenix clan without violating the rules is the enforcement elder. Naturally, there's a condition for the enforcement elder to leave the Phoenix clan. There must be a member of the Phoenix clan who has violated the rules and left the Phoenix clan without permission. Normally, no one from the Phoenix clan would leave the Phoenix clan, because even if they did, the enforcement elder would find them in the shortest time possible. The members of the Phoenixes all have innate marks on our bodies. It's impossible for us to escape from the investigation of the deacon. He knew that he was going to die, but he just wanted to see the outside world. In the history of our Phoenixes, there has never been such a stupid person. At this point, the beautiful woman paused for a moment before continuing. Of course, if the human devil era comes again, we won't have to abide by that rule anymore. After all, we'll have to leave the Phoenix clan, and attack the devil clans from the land of exile. This is the ancestral instruction left behind by our Phoenix clan's ancestors. It's also the mission of our Phoenix clan. The Phoenix prophet's words also revealed a meaning. The era of non-humans and demons descended once again. Otherwise, the members of the Phoenix clan were not allowed to leave the Phoenix clan without permission. The human-demon era is coming again? Feng Tianwu looked disappointed. Just now, according to the Phoenix clan's prophet, she also learned that only a few 100,000 years had passed since the last human-devil era. It would take at least 1,000,000 years for the devil clans from the land of exile to break through the space barrier and enter the Dao Martial Saint land again. For this reason, the Phoenix clan's prophet said, it was impossible for the human-devil era to descend again in the current era they were in. Sometimes things were just so miraculous. Things that you thought were impossible might happen all of a sudden. It was impossible for the human-devil era to descend again in the current era. To the current lower province of the Dao Martial Saint land, the Phoenix clan's prophet's words were undoubtedly a huge joke. However, it could be seen from this that, although the Phoenix clan's prophet could foresee the future and calculate all the phenomena in the world, it did not mean that she could foresee everything. The old man, the prophet, is waiting for you outside. I'll send you out. With a wave of her hand, the Phoenix clan's prophet brought Feng Tianwu out of the Phoenix clan's Saint land, the land of rebirth, and back to the Phoenix clan's altar. Then, she brought Feng Tianwu out of the Phoenix clan's estate. Naturally, even though she was a prophet with a high status in the Phoenix clan, she could not violate the clan's rules and leave the Phoenix clan's estate. She could only send Feng Tianwu to the edge of the Phoenix clan's estate. Along the way, Feng Tianwu left with the Phoenix clan's prophet. When she thought about how she would be able to see the old man who called himself her senior uncle prophet, she felt as though she was dreaming. Previously, after she left the Greenwave Han mansion, a fifth-rate force in the Debussy subterranean, she continued to search for the man she missed, Duan Lingtian. At that time, the old man who called himself her senior uncle prophet appeared in front of her and revealed that she had obtained the Blazing Phoenix progeny's inheritance from her master. He even mentioned the 7 Absolute sect that her master had mentioned to her before. For this reason, she believed the old man's words. Naturally, even if she did not believe him, she did not have the ability to resist when the old man wanted to take her away. Initially, she refused because of Duan Lingtian. However, the old man told her that if she wanted to meet Duan Lingtian, she would have to go to the upper province of the Dao Martial Saint land. Moreover, the old man promised that she would be able to meet Duan Lingtian in the upper province of the Dao Martial Saint land. In order to meet Duan Lingtian, she finally left the lower province of the Dao Martial Saint land with the old man and came to the upper province of the Dao Martial Saint land. She followed the old man's arrangement and came to the Phoenix clan. I can't believe that great-grandmother and I both inherited the Phoenix clan's prophet's bloodline. However, the bloodline great-grandmother inherited from the Phoenix clan's prophet's bloodline is much purer than mine. After arriving at the Phoenix clan, Feng Tianwu learned about the Phoenix clan's prophet's bloodline. She had inherited the Phoenix clan's prophet's bloodline. In the Phoenix clan, there would be a prophet in every generation. The prophet's bloodline was also a very noble bloodline in the Phoenix clan. Every prophet in the Phoenix clan was respected by everyone in the Phoenix clan. A prophet in the Phoenix clan could foresee the future and predict everything in the world. Back then, great-grandmother was a prophet. She divined the fate between me and elder brother Duan. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met elder brother Duan back then. The moment Feng Tianwu thought of this, a blissful smile appeared on her face. Back then, it was because of her great-grandmother's reminder. That was why her father had brought her to that city at the border of the Darkstone Empire, and had renamed that city as Phoenix Nest City. It was also because of her great-grandmother's reminder that her father had arranged the spouse selection martial competition for her, allowing her to meet Duan Lingtian and resolve the crisis of her fire spirit body. It's a good thing great-grandmother has the Phoenix clan's prophet's bloodline. Otherwise, I'm afraid I wouldn't have met elder brother Duan in this lifetime. The moment Feng Tianwu thought of this, she felt a wave of lingering fear. However, no matter what, meeting the elder brother Duan was the happiest thing in her life. That elder brother Duan was also the man she had set her mind on in this lifetime. However, Senior Uncle Prophet is really amazing. He actually managed to predict that I have the Phoenix Clan's Prophet's bloodline in me. In terms of divination, his ability seems to be even stronger than Senior Prophet. Feng Tianwu thought to herself as she inadvertently glanced at the Phoenix Clan's Prophet beside her from the corner of her eyes. Naturally, she did not dare to say this out loud. "We're here." As the Phoenix Clan's Prophet stopped moving, they had also arrived at the border of the Phoenix Clan's encampment. Senior Prophet. Since they were about to part, Feng Tianwu was naturally very reluctant to part. In her heart, she had already treated the Phoenix Clan's Prophet before her as her mother. Go on. Faced with Feng Tianwu's reluctance, the Phoenix Clan's Prophet only felt a wave of panic in her heart. In order to hide her panic, she raised her hand and directly sent Feng Tianwu out of the Phoenix Clan's encampment. After Feng Tianwu disappeared from her sight, she took a deep breath and closed her eyes. She could not calm the restless emotions in her heart for a long time. After interacting with each other for a period of time, Feng Tianwu treated her like a mother, so how could she not treat Feng Tianwu as her daughter? A gigantic hybrid formation seemed to have separated the Phoenix Clan's encampment from the outside world into two different worlds. Whoosh! As the Phoenix Clan's Prophet made her move, Feng Tianwu only felt her vision turn dark. When her eyes lit up again, she realized that she had already left the Phoenix Clan's encampment and appeared in the sky above a mountain range. Senior Uncle Prophet. After returning to her senses, Feng Tianwu saw the old man who was walking in the air not far away and greeted him respectfully. The old man was the Oracle Man, who had come from the northern region to pick up Feng Tianwu. The Oracle Man had come to bring Feng Tianwu back, so that he could activate the 6 Absolutes heaven-defying fate-changing grand formation, left behind by the 7 Absolutes sex prodigy, Sword Saint, to help the current descendants of the 6 Absolutes, including Feng Tianwu, to defy the heavens and change their fates. Little Tianwu, you've successfully undergone rebirth? When he arrived near Feng Tianwu, the Oracle Man could also sense the change in her aura. He was instantly shocked. After all, when he brought Feng Tianwu to the Phoenix Clan back then, he had the intention of treating a dead horse as a living one. It just so happened that the Phoenix Clan owed the 7 Absolutes sect a favor. Feng Tianwu, the current descendant of the 7 Absolutes sect's blazing Phoenix progeny, had the Phoenix Clan's Prophet's bloodline. For this reason, he had tried to send Feng Tianwu to the Phoenix Clan to ask the Phoenix Clan to let Feng Tianwu enter the Phoenix Clan's Saint Land, the Land of Rebirth. If the rebirth was successful, Feng Tianwu's innate talent and strength would be greatly improved. Yes. Feng Tianwu nodded in the face of the Oracle Man's question. Her face was filled with reluctance. If it wasn't for Senior Prophet sacrificing his cultivation base to help me, with the faint Phoenix Clan's bloodline in my body, I wouldn't have successfully undergone rebirth. It seems like the Phoenix Clan's Prophet is really good to you. The Oracle Man nodded and said excitedly, now that you've successfully undergone rebirth, when you undergo the baptism of the 6 Absolutes heaven-defying fate-changing grand formation, in the future, you might become the most powerful person after the first Absolute of the 7 Absolutes sect, the Fog Rain progeny. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.